Welcome to the south of France. Welcome to Paul Ricard, and it is the French Grand Prix presented by Hyperdrive Esports. And yes, I hope you all had a lovely day. I'm sure we've had a very long day as well, actually. And of course, most of us being up at the crack of dawn then for about 4:30 onwards to watch the Australian Grand Prix. As much as I love Australia around Albert Park, my word, then I wish that they'd make the times a bit more sociable, as I am really started to hang now. But good job to Esport, a good job that Hyperdrive on here tonight. Otherwise, I would be struggling profusely, and I'll probably be going to bed in a minute. But that's not very good because I'll probably be up early, and of course it's Monday tomorrow, and I don't want to be up for early on a Monday. Anyway, enough about my personal strides as well. Actually, talking to which, also I've had a very bad day as unfortunately my toilet is broke. So and I really need a number two. So this is going to be quite a painful experience. It has been for the last 2 hours, I must say. And unfortunately, because I'm in the Forest Dean now, there's not really toilets where I can go and have a go. And yeah, I don't know where my sister is. Right, anyway, enough about my bowel movements. Let's get on with the race, or this qualifying session, shall we? This is round 13, then, of course, here in the elongated Paul Ricard circuit. Whether that's going to affect the race, we do not know, because it could rain potentially in the north of the track, and then the south of the track, it could be bone dry, which I don't think happens on this game, but it'd be cool if it did, wouldn't it? Also, Mr. Rage is our 206th driver to ever participate in Division 1. So fantastic stuff indeed there to Mr. Rage. He is our 206th driver since we started 7 seasons ago. So South 5 to him. Love it. I've also heard that there may be a potential returnee in the forms of Mr. Paul Faring, who a former Grand Prix, I think he was a former championship leader as well. We've had a couple of late dropouts, which has been shameful, really, but never mind. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. But as you were then, and I don't know something about this extension malarkey on no Twitch, but I'll leave it be for now. And for some unknown reason, I've also had Xbox advertisement, which is shocking behaviour, really. And of course, we're a PlayStation brand. However, if we do crossplay next year, that's going to be interesting, isn't it? Also, remember that potentially Dylan will be is going to be starting to test the waters with Gran Turismo 7 leagues as well. So if you're ever interested in them, I suggest that yeah, come on down, as Bruce used to say on Bruce's Price is Right. I don't know. It's a big card game, wasn't it? I used to like that show. I think it was a Saturday night, wasn't it? We do have Ant and Deck Saturday Night Takeaway, which isn't too bad, but I do prefer Bruce's Price is Right with those big old cards. Anyway, I don't know. I'm talking a lot of gibberish. Then let's get on with the show, shall we? So 15 turns around this course, and Sebastian Vettel is the lap record holder in terms of the real world of Formula One. What about Hyperdrive's lap record around here? It is actually set by Tango last season of a 29.398. Then that's a race lap record. The all-time lap record, I believe, is set by Emerson, not Fittipaldi. I'm talking about Emerson Hilton, the double world champion. He has done a 27.259 back in season 5 when it was pole position there for the second time, I think, of his career here. So pretty impressive stuff indeed there for Emerson. He was quite successful around there. Last season's Grand Prix winner was Total Peace. That was his only Grand Prix winner this season, I think, last season. Tail of the tape. Then German, of course, our defending champion, who unfortunately has hurt himself, so he is not going to be available between the next 4 to 6 races, which is a huge loss for German. His season has very much been up and down, hasn't it, for German, unfortunately. Emerson, of course, has been a 2-time Grand Prix winner around here. Eat the Cookie, who was on a absolute form of his life, wasn't he? Fireshot Ryan won his one and only Grand Prix as well around here. I think that was only his second Grand Prix. And NWBB, goodness gracious me, that was before I had a beard, won that time, won in the first ever race around here. Enough about that, Jip, then. Let's go along with the drivers and the constructors, shall we? We do have, for the first time ever, we do have half points in the championship after the Silverstone shenanigans. It is Danger Thomas leads the championship by a massive 68 points, 68.5 points now from Blaze in second. Then Blaze is a half a point in front of Epic in third position. Sly Guy in a fourth position. I've heard a rumbling that Sly Guy has been practicing. The first time he's been practicing for a race this season. Can he get his championship back on track? Then it's hit the bit of the snagging blocks, hasn't it? There's been a bit up and down for Sly Guy, but can he get some consistency? Trophy. Troy's been supreme in 5th position so far. Sully in 6th position. I was just rewatching some of Sully's early races in Division, well, of course, back then when it was called the Premier League, which is now Division 2, isn't it? Goodness gracious me, he had a fantastic end to that season 2. I loved that. That was great. Chaz in 7th position again. A bit of a, I think the Chaz who finished 3rd last season, disappointed to be down in 7th. German, the defending champion, as we first heard, is trying to get some form, but then he's hurt himself. Crazy Bill in 9th position. He's been the star package for me, I think. Milan in 10th position, but he's going to potentially be losing that 10th position because Julian is only 4.5 points back at the moment, and he is racing tonight. In the relegation zone, we have Hayden, who unfortunately took part in a couple of races, and then due to that, he gave Haas some more minus points, and then he left, so that's good of him. Mr. Rage, I'm looking forward to Mr. Rage. He's been a revelation in Formula 2. I've absolutely loved watching Mr. Rage drive in Formula 2. He's brilliant, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. Like in Formula 2, he's in a red car, but it is the famous Scarlet car, the Ferrari, and he'll be teaming up with Sly Guy, and that is the perfect teammate to have. Clarkie's currently no points at the moment either, so Clarkie is going to have to really get on the form now for the Haas team, because they are being cut adrift in the Constructors' Championship, and this is how it is in the Constructors' Championship. McLaren leads 126 points away from Williams in 2nd position. Ferrari are 40.5 points away from Williams. It sounds so weird saying 40.5. Alfa Romeo in a superb 4th position. And Mercedes are also in 4th as well. Aston Martin doing much better than what they were in real life, I must say, in 6th position. Red Bull are in 7th position. AlphaTauri, Alpine in 9th position. It's quite nip and tuck then between those drivers, between those teams. However, what is not nip and tuck is unfortunately Haas, who's right down at the bottom of the table on 11 points. In the joint constructors, Ferrari leads. This is a live version, I think it is. 15.5 points separates McLaren and Ferrari at the moment. AlphaTauri in 3rd position, 42.5 points as well. It's so close there. It's even closer when you start to get down, get further down the table. Alfa Romeo, 80 points away at the moment, but that's nothing in the joint constructors. Alpine in 5th position. Red Bull are in 6th, with Haas only 28 points away in 7th. And Mercedes are now 50 points away. Nope, 49 points away in 8th position. Williams are 9th. Aston Martin got some major problems in 10th position, unfortunately. Dan Murphy is retired from the session, and as I think he might be a bit tired, the poor old nipper, as I think he was up at the crack of dawn as well. Right, what was I going to say? We've got any of you eagle-eyed viewers may notice that we've got a driver who's only participated once in Division 1's history. And it's Carlo Ken, then, which I completely butchered his name when he debuted back in Season 2 of Bahrain, which is back on the F1 2020 game. Goodness gracious me. He only participated in one race, and he did have a DNF, but goodness gracious me, I think that this is the most, I think it's a record in terms of the first start to your second start of a Grand Prix here in Division 1 in Hyperdrive. So good stuff indeed. And it's great stuff to see Carlo Ken, but then I must apologise profusely about his name. It's a shocking beer as well. Murphy making us 110th starter tonight as well. Good stuff indeed there for Daniel. We have got German, who's actually in tonight. Thanks to goodness me. I was talking porcupines then, but he is hurt now, isn't he? German is there. So he is going to be on the back foot, I would hazard a guess then. As I mentioned there, Mr. Rage for the win is our 205th or 6th driver. I think it's 206th driver, isn't it? Goodness gracious me, in Division 1's history. So there's been a lot of comings and goings, hasn't there, over the past couple of seasons or so. So yeah, we'll take a look at Carlo Ken, and then he is now just going to go on board for now. Let's get to some of the commenters, shall we? Then the main event. Let's go. Nunda saying the freak show. I must apologise to Nunda. Yes, sorry, I'm a bit of I'm a freak. Goodness gracious me. But there we go. I can't help myself. Notice after session an absolute disgust, I think, with either with my bowel movement from earlier on that I was talking about, or perhaps he didn't like the rain which is coming on, which that's what Sloth just mentioned to us. Rain again. 2 of my best tracks, both wet there, so he's unhappy that there's tears maybe coming from the sky, but also from Sloth's eyes as well. Unfortunately, Kyle Kennan there just coming down the back straight here. Owen Sharpie, Vamos, V Robbie and Scotty, lovely different yellow and blue designs that Nunda is saying. Is that on Carl Kennan's helmet? I must apologise, I've missed that completely. Shocking behaviour. Goodness gracious me, I need to pull my socks up, don't I? There we go. Yeah, looking forward to this one here tonight. Of course, this is the French Grand Prix. Not the most entertaining track in the world. It's I quite like racing around. Yeah, remember, as I mentioned, Sligo, we are expecting some horrific times from him tonight because he is going to be. When I say horrific, I mean horrifically scary because he is for the first time he has for this season he has been putting in some practice, hasn't he? From what I've been reading in the Ferrari chat. So very interesting. Here comes Carl Kennan then coming across the line. He goes second fastest on 30.4, 2 seconds off the pace at the moment. German there, who the champion, the defending champion, having a couple of injuries going on. I'm not sure if it's the same injury as what one Pablo Montoya sustained back in 2005 in the McLaren, whereas a moto cross incident or a tennis incident. Unfortunately, we'll never know probably until he brings out an autobiography, which that'll be something which I would love to read because he was a very interesting character, wasn't he? One Pablo Montoya, he was such a good driver. I remember when he first debuted in the Williams. I was really looking forward to seeing what he could do, and he really put it to Schumacher, didn't he, in the Brazilian Grand Prix? But I'm well off topic already. We've got Baguette saying, you jinxed it last night. Oh dear, Baguette, there is not happy. It's not very happy over there at all. Owen is also subscribed. Thank you very much for being subscribed for 2 months. Very good high five as well. Slayer mentioned actually that we have surpassed 1,300 subscribers. So thank you very much indeed. Or is that followers? I need to get into grips, don't I, with this Twitch malarkey? It's not like I've been doing it now for 14 weeks, but there we go. And Danger's gone at 5th fastest on medium tyres. I must stress. Pillar's back in action, and he hasn't raced for quite a while, but Pillar's then is back in action as well with the beautiful yellow helmet there from Pillars. I wonder if he is. I wonder if that is in support of course, his favourite driver, Lewis Hamilton. Epic, who is currently second at the moment now. Sly Guy is already a second quicker than almost a second quicker than anyone at the moment. Scotty's starting to warm those tyres on the mediums there. We have just got V Robbie going full fast in the Haas car as well. V Robbie needs to transfer some of his pace to the Haas team tonight because Haas are really in major peril as well. Julian only 6th fastest, but again, I need to remind you that's on the medium compound tyres, of course. And a yellow and blue helmet designs, new the same. Thank you very much. I was a bit slow on that occasion there, probably because I was getting too excited. Blaze currently second in the World Championship at the moment. He is not put a time in just yet. This qualifying one session there, we are aiming to lose the 5 Sowish drivers. We've already lost one in the form of Murphy, but we know about Murphy. He's not a fan of qualifying, I don't think, and also probably because he I don't know, probably just wants to watch the stream, doesn't he, and he doesn't want to be distracted. Blaze going at 5th fastest at the moment. I don't believe that for 1 second, by the way. I think the only streams that he does watch is Division 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. No disrespect to 7 and 1, but unfortunately there's a ginger guy that commentates over it. Otherwise he probably would watch it, and I'm sure that I'm sure a lot of others will probably watch it more as well. However, unfortunately, got to scrape the barrel with me. We got Baguette saying mediums, wet start, I guess. Then I think it is Baguette. I've heard a whisper from Sloth saying that there is rain afoot, so that's going to get interesting, isn't it? Blaze going 5th fast as well. I'm not sure how long the rain is going to be or whatnot. P1 Sly Guy, P2 Julian, P3 Blaze, P4 Epic. My race prediction. Well, that was pretty pretty to the point now, goodness gracious me. Sly Guy hopefully to do a Charles Leclerc-esque like he did in Australia. By the way, I should have said spoiler alert before that, but if you haven't heard about the Australian Grand Prix or watched it, I'll be absolutely disappointed with you. I must admit, I've actually tried watching it 3 times after me toilet shenanigans at about 5 o'clock this morning. Yes, as it broke, and then my landlord came over about not 9:30, so I could about 9:30, 10 o'clock whilst I was trying to watch the race rerun. But I finally got to watch it at 1 o'clock. It doesn't feel special when you don't watch it live, does it? Tiger going into 4th faster than the Alpine, so he is going to be cheered on by the French contingent here tonight as he is driving in the hometown team then. So we definitely know what he's going to do there. Here comes Mr. Rage then tackling in the Ferrari. We'll see how he does. And we've got Sloth as well just coming through Scene Corner. Carboy out of the far turn then. What can he do? He goes across the line, Carboy does, and he goes into 12 fastest at the moment. Mr. Rage into turn 15. Not many turns around this course, is there? Of course, we have got Geordie Boxtel and the Aston Martin flying the flag quite nice indeed. And Geordie Boxtel doing well in Division 2. We'll talk about Division 2 and a summary of what has gone on throughout the season. Mr. Rage there, 5th fast as well. I'm a big old Mr. Rage fan, and I shouldn't be a fan of anyone really, should I? I should be on the fence, but I do like Mr. Rage. I think he really made me sit up and take notice, because I no disrespect to Mr. Rage, but he must have flew under the radar for me, because I didn't see too much of Mr. Rage, but goodness gracious me, he's been superb in Formula 2, and he's been really carrying that Prima van very nicely indeed. And look at that, he's very much on song right from the get-go in the Ferrari as well. Good stuff indeed there. So yes, Mr. Rage, you have gained a fan, which I'm sure you do want a fan, but from my caliber. But never mind. There, what can you do? As the old saying used to go, beggars can't be choosers. 2 DRS zones around this Paul Ricard circuit. We got one on the back straight, and of course one on the finishing straight as well, as we break down. Oh goodness me, no we don't. Clarkey as unfortunately tackling the mobile chicane of the straight down there. We've got Serious Mushroom. Even though good evening to you, Serious Mushroom, as he comes in there, as he is the Lord and Saviour of the Commons, isn't he, Mr. what? Serious Mushroom. Goodness me. Clarkey unfortunately validated his time then. We've got 7 minutes to go then, so Clarkey's got more than enough time. Drops down the mountain there is the champion Gurman, but he is racing with he's racing injured at the moment. Scotty hasn't set a time just yet either. Scotty, who's really quick, or unfortunately doesn't finish a race, so he needs to get a bit of the balance in there, doesn't he, at the moment? Scotty does. Goodness me, how do I turn this down? No, there we go. Goodness me, all this contraption stuff. Thank you very much for the new follow there for Carl Kennan. Then I apologise if I'm absolutely ruining your name, my good sir. But it's great to see you back then, of course, Carl Kennan. Then first time he's raced for first time he's raced for us on a Sunday since season 2 of Bahrain, back on F1 2020. Goodness gracious me! So good stuff to see you back, my good sir. And hopefully you get you didn't finish the race last time, but fingers crossed you can get that sorted tonight. So in the drop zone, Clark, he needs another bite of the cherry. So does Chaz, who hasn't come out just yet. We're just watching Scotty, who's on the track now. Track limits around this circuit is going to be a major peril for these drivers, I surmise, tonight. And Clarkey just coming down the back. I thought he was gone then. My word, DRS is available. Yeah, of course, I hope you all enjoyed the Australian Grand Prix. It was fantastic, wasn't it? As I mentioned then, in very unsociable hours. But we got our first sprint race in the San Marino Grand Prix, which is not the San Marino Grand Prix, in 2 weeks' time, which is disappointing, because I was hoping it'd be next week. But of course, when I don't think we've ever had a race straight after Australia going into a European race ever. So that was wishful thinking by myself. But yeah, it was a good Australian Grand Prix. Quite enjoyed it. So if you haven't watched it yet, I've already spoiled it for you, so I must apologise. I take it Sly Guy likes France. He's been Serious Mushroom Sly Guy has been practicing, which is the first time he's practiced this season, so it's quite ominous there for Sly Guy. Sly Guy is 4th in the championship. He's in 10 starts. He's had 2 Grand Prix wins. He's had 6 pole positions, and he's had 6 podiums to his name. 3 fastest laps and 2 driver days there. However, he's also had 2 DNFs there, and he didn't score, unfortunately, in Bahrain and Portugal. You only got the fast laps, so can Sly Guy just get some more points in the bag there, and he is going to be a major. He'll be a major factor in the championship. I keep forgetting that we're only halfway through, haven't we? Because we've got 23 rounds this season, not 24, of course. Clarkey's gone 7th fastest. Clarkey was very unlucky last time out. Julian is in major peril at the moment, and Engis as well. Both Red Bulls are also staring at the abyss as well here. Let's see how that one transpires. And Julian now just coming into the final section. Let me catch up with the comments. How dare I? Ariel saying I think he likes Monaco more. I think he does as well, actually. He just wandered away that race. So Sly Guy did. There's too many S's in my word. I think it was an absolute clinic in Grand Prix racing, wasn't there, for Sly Guy? It was quite scary to watch at times. He was in the zone, wasn't he? There Sly Guy. Erison saying, hello Sean, did you enjoy your early morning? Unfortunately not. as a lot of people have heard, then I've had a problem with my toilet. I have then had my landlord over, so it's taken me 3 attempts to watch the Australian Grand Prix, and I've been in a foul mood. So there we go. I have to watch F1 live, otherwise it just doesn't feel right to me. Scotty is feeling very much right at home now. He's third fastest there. Scotty is he's had an up and down start to his campaign here in Hyperdrive, but yes, of course, there's a long way to go still, and I think that Scotty, when he gets into the rhythm, thinks is going to be a major player as well. But as we mentioned there, Pillars retired from the session. As we mentioned, though, it is going to. He needs to start to score some points there. Saigo has been had issues with his wheel for about 500 races. Remember in was it Saudi Arabia? His wheel just randomly turned off, didn't it? And he had issues in Bahrain as well. I think there was damage to the Ferrari in Bahrain, wasn't there? Major peril. Serious Mushroom saying, I think he likes everywhere. To be fair, Gurman saying, haven't played controller in almost 3 years. This is going to be taking some getting used to that. As we also said, then Gurman has got an injury. I'm not sure whether it's a tennis injury or whether it's a motocross injury. We might have to talk to one Pablo Montoya on that front there. We've also got Serious just hold your breath, Gurman. Indeed, I think that is that how you play Call of Duty, when you hold your breath with those sniper rifles? I'm not too sure, to be honest. Mr. You're just on board with Knowles then. Yes, of course. Hopefully we can get. Scott can get to the end then. Boxtel currently second at the moment now, just on board with Knowles with the beautiful black helmet. Then he's a plain Jane like me. However, mine's a pink helmet, whilst Knowles is a black helmet. We've got V Robbie, who is just retired from the session in a 5th position at this moment. I need to I need to pivot because I'm in a lot of. Oh, that's better. Oh gosh, as Knowsley is on a quick lap. Here comes Kyle Kennan then. As I mentioned, this is his first Grand Prix in over 6 seasons though, so good stuff to see him back in hyperdrive and in the hot seat there for Kyle Kennan. Then I've got everything crossed for the young man. Talking of which, then about so far this in this week, we've had a lot of good action as well, haven't we? As we're just watching Knowlesy tackle the. No, we're going to talk about this week's action in a minute because I don't want to. I don't want to talk about this at the end of this qualifying session first. We've got a Red Bull of Chazza who's out as well. We've got Gurman out then. We've got Andenge out as well. I'm loving this then. This is going to get very competitive as well. What can Knowlesy do then? The 3-time Grand Prix winner Knowlesy is there. Of course, an early contender for the championship charge in season 5. Out of the final turn. And what does Knowlesy do across the line then? This quite a way down there, isn't it, Knowlesy? He's lost 0.3 of a second there. And that's interesting stuff there for Knowlesy. So I wonder if the tyres are going off before the end of the I wonder if the tyres are going off before the end of the lap, perhaps. Red Bulls have now started. Gurman has started his lap now. Chaz has started his lap then. And Danger's still out there with a minute to go. On board, Carl Kennan then over the coming on with the grid hatch as well. He's in 15th row. He is in the danger zone. He's not anymore. That's a great lap there for Carl Kennan. Great stuff indeed there. The man is looking on form, and that's what we like to see. The 2 McLarens are in major peril here. And Blaze has gone out. He's second in the championship. He's gone out on the medium tyres here. Is this going to be enough? It's not at the moment. He's gained by 6,800 of a second, but he's down in 13th. Both McLarens are staring to the abyss at the moment. Knowlesy is as well. Slough across the line. What can Slough do? He's 7th. That should be safe there for the fan favourite here tonight. Along with the other Alpine car of Tiger as well, who's invalidated his time. We've just seen one of the Alfa Romeos that starts up. It is Andenchen. 0.3 of a second up then. He needs to now put a good time on the board, or he's out of qualifying here. And Gurman's had a cropper. He is out of qualifying. Murphy and Gurman, very experienced campaigners, are out of qualifying at this stage. Unfortunately, I see a blue car coming across the line. It's Tiger who's starting his lap now. This is his last shot then for Tiger. What about Chaz, who hasn't set a time just yet? The man who was third in the championship last season across the grid hatching as well. Across the line, it's third fastest for Chaz. Goodness me, he's blown me away with that. Fantastic. And that should see him safely through as well. Knowlesy's out of qualifying. That's a big shame there for Knowlesy, so he's going to be down in 17th position. Is Sir Alex. That was a shame then. Goodness me, I've been watching too many Ferguson documentaries there, haven't I? And Danger on the back straight then. Danger Times the champ. He's out! Danger Times is out of qualifying. Good grief there. The championship leaders has had a major problem here. And Blaze is in trouble as well. Blaze invalidated. Can Andensen, who I think hasn't lived up to the billing just yet this season. Now Sligo's gone fast on the 28.4 there. Sligo is safely through anyway, and that was just to put an exclamation mark on his performance. What about Andensen into the final 2 turns here? This is 14. This is 15 as well. Can the car rotate? It's looking looking good. You know, the target time is a 16.8 there. Blaze and both McLarens are in trouble here. Is both going to be out? Good grief, the Constructors Champions are out of qualifying one already. My word, that is a shock to the system. And Danger Times, who is leading the World Championship. Blaze, who is second. McLaren have had a great season so far. Has had a great season so far with 7 wins apiece, and they've been on the podium 12 times. They've had a 1-2 as well. McLaren have their qualifying. It's not been their strong point, only one pole position between them. But that is not what I was expecting to see then. Look at those names then that are out qualifying at this stage, there. It is Murphy out of qualifying, Gurman out of qualifying, Knowlesley out of qualifying. There is a champion out of qualifying, Knowlesley a Grand Prix winner, Murphy a 4-time pole sitter out of qualifying, Danger Times the championship leader out of qualifying, Blaze who is second in the championship out of qualifying as well. Good grief, Cartboy, good innings there. He is through into qualifying too. Pillars there must admit he may have been smoking on his pipe there in the garage there with his newspaper out. Does anyone have a newspaper anymore? I'm not sure, but Pillars there, who is going to be a bit concerned by that, as with his newspaper out. I wonder if he reads the Sun or maybe the Daily Star. Is the Daily Star still available? I'm not sure, or is it the Sports Sunday? I don't know. Whatever the case may be, he's still through nonetheless there. And my golly gosh, then 5 drivers who are really at the pinnacle of their powers, and very quick drivers indeed, are all out in this French Grand Prix qualifying session, and that is not what I was expected at all. And that is such a shame there. So is Danger Times just on his in-lap here. Let me catch up with the comments there. Boxtel, I better not get a puncture like yesterday, Boxtel. I'm sure did you still finish on the podium though, Boxtel? Hang on. You did indeed. You got third in the end there. 7th podium there for Boxtel. Good stuff indeed there. However, it probably could have and should have been more. I must say, I haven't watched yesterday's race yet. All I do is just kind of look at the results at the moment because I need to catch up. What we're talking about, I don't know. This is the bottom 5. Murphy, who was probably hadn't even got to the race circuit yet, and down in 20th position there. Fashionably late, that young Dan Murphy is. Gurman in 19th position, the championship leader. He is driving with an injury, and that is why he is quite. That's why he's quite a way off the pace there. You don't expect to see Gurman a second off the next car, do you? That is such a shame there for Gurman. I'll read out a comment to me because that was a nice comment that someone's mentioned. Knowlesley in 18th position there. Danger Times and Blaze both leading 1-2 in the championship, are both out of qualifying here and both going for medium tires, and that may have bit him in the proverbial there, and both McLarens are shock, my word. Jeff DeSayer, hopefully Jordy won't get a puncture there. Gurman, he tried then. Epic saying, you're the people's champion today, is gonna make it upset up, and cheers man, I'll try my best and see what happens there. Sayer, well, didn't go on softs, and that ruined my race prediction there. Serious Mushroom has had his message deleted, naughty Mushroom there. Sort of that's not a goodness gracious me, I'm not even going to read out the rest there. Salai guy, McLaren mudded, my word there. Oh, that's a bit of needle. I love it. I do love a bit of competition. Right, let's go into qualifying 2. So we know that there's rain afoot in the race, and whether that is coming at the early stages of the race, we do not know. However, we may, judging from Epic's coming out on the medium tyres here, I feel that Epic may have answered this for us. Why do I hear you ask? Is this the case then? Well, the reason being is then that Ferrari's just absolutely skipped turn 1 there. Goodness me, that Sly guy then, who's pretty quick at the moment. And Epic also following suit. Goodness gracious me. I must say then that this is the fault of the French organisers there, isn't it really? Because of course when you have a circuit like a car park, of course they're going to take liberties, aren't they? But of course, I know this is more of a test circuit, really. I'd say, though, in league racing, it has been pretty good, hasn't it? I would say. Maybe the race in the real world of Formula 1 not very good. 2021 was all right, wasn't it? A nail-biting finish, but I can't really remember any of the French Grand Prix. I remember 2019 where it went a bit. What was it? 2018 where Vettel went into the back of Bottas, was it? And they spun the car or something like that. I really struggle to remember the French Grand Prix. Bring back Manicourt. That's what I say then. But then again, that's because I'm a golden oldie. can make up the time. Wet start anyway then. Nunes saying, Nunes saying, make it up in the race then. Troy, is it raining in the race then? Troy is saying, evening Sean, hello all race as well for Camaro, as we're going to just go on board with Sly Guy and enjoy this lap as well. According to Sloth, yes, Nunes saying, and when you're allowed to cut, then as Serious Rusher saying now, Sly Guy saying, goodness me, I've got Serious Rusher on the brain, I'm like, oh, good gosh. Shelfer saying the race starts wet for 30 minutes and dries up. Thank you very much, Owen. I'm glad that someone tells me this, because I'm just all at sea. There's a good evening there for Camaro then. There's 20 minutes then. Hello, Serious mate. Then of course, Sly Guy's invalidated his time now, so that is not going to count at all. So we're not going to enjoy his first lap because we're going to come back on him when he has a lap, more of a cleaner lap. Then we didn't see what happened there because I was reading the comments. Just watching Epic then. He's on the medium tyres. Look at how he's attacking that chicane. Goodness me. You can see, when was it? Who was, I think it was, it was Canada, wasn't it? Where you can visibly see, I think it was Sly Guy, wasn't it? Where you can visibly see where he just so much quicker. It was at that final chicane of 13 and 14. There was 3 or 4 drivers where you can generally see where they're going quicker. It was music to my eyes. I loved it. It was one of the things that just really inspires me to put the game on and then turn it off when I realise I'm never going to be up to caliber. Epic goes into 15. He is almost light on fumes here out of the final turn. DRS, you hear a beep in the ear. The drivers probably don't need a beep now, do they? Because they probably know where the DRS is if they close their eyes and didn't have any reference at all. But Epic goes fast on the 29.8 then on medium tyres, of course. It's interesting to see though. Andenge coming across the line there. He's crawling to the line as well. Andenge is there. Still like the Ronnie Peterson inspired helmet there from Andenge. I don't think it is the Ronnie Peterson inspired helmet, but it reminds you of his the helmet design. Julian there going at second fast. He is now borderline almost in the top 10 of the championship. Julian is, which is good stuff there for him, isn't there? He has shown flashes of brilliance, hasn't he, in his career so far. V Robbie really resting that Haas car. Haas are only on 11 points so far. That is not good at all. Keep my name out of your goddamn mouth, as we've had a Will Smith quote there from Serious Mushroom. I thought he was being a serious mushroom, then he was. Well, he's always a serious mushroom, isn't he? But goodness gracious me. So I must say that has been memed throughout the whole of the last couple of weeks. Isn't it fantastic? I can't remember when the Oscars was, really. Was it a couple of weeks ago? I do know that he has been banned from 10 years from the Oscars, if that interests anyone. What interests me at the moment is V Robbie is fastest there and almost by quite a country mile. The moment from Sloth in second. Sloth and Tygo are very much going to be the stars of the show tonight. I would hazard to guess that all the French are going. As Clarkey is kind of got lost there and he's parked. Oh my gosh, Aaron, almost into major problems there. And goodness gracious me, that's not PG. But he comes back in the pits now. Scotty DRS as well. And for Scotty, he's got a lovely slipstream from his teammate here, Pillars, who has just set a time then. So Pillars then, I think he'd probably be getting out of the way now, wouldn't he? He's just gone up straight. Oh dear. A bit of bad communication there from the Mercedes drivers. I'm not too sure, but that is but I think Scotty was on a quick lap anyway. But Mercedes, not really in harmony there, were they? My word there. So that's not very good, is it? But he gets out of the way now. But so Mercedes not on the same page, unfortunately. Cartboy, who's into qualifying too. Good stuff indeed there for Cartboy. Of course, he was the runner-up in Season 5, wasn't he, in the Championship? That was the season that Emerson absolutely dominated in Division 1. I must say, though, that I don't think I have ever seen anyone dominate qualifying as much as Idenzo did in Season 2 of Weekend Night Racing, I think it was, of course, which turned into PBE, which is now Hyperdrive. Yes, on Saturday night. I think he had 15 or 16 podiums, and he had literally the first half of the season was just all Denzo. Fantastic stuff indeed there. He did went on to win that second championship. That's as far as I've got on me research. So yeah, you'll have to wait for my next instalment of research. Hopefully it'll be next week. Cardboy, who I think has backed off here. So what about Carl Kennan? Unfortunately, Carl Kennan has also had issues there and is invalidated. And there's going to be a lot of times that have been invalidated here because this track could very much it's so easy to invalidate your time, isn't it? There's a Slayer hey up mission in. I bet Tiger goes better in Division goes better in Division 1. He always does better here. As Denza was on a mad run that season, only had Rick to closely challenge him, and Siege, I believe. Yeah, I think Siege didn't race in the final couple of races, unfortunately, did he? But Dalton and Dalton and Denza was crazy. I think that they was like on 300 points in the end. They're absolutely incredible stuff indeed. Strike for Soloff there. Oh goodness me, that Polystyrene gone flying off there. Oh, smashing performance there. Of course, some drivers don't like it when of course you smash the polystyrene boards. However, that is the braking boards and all that kind of stuff. You can tell I'm not a very good racer because I don't even look at those polystyrene boards, and that's probably why I'm so slow. Tygo, what's he doing? And let's go on board there with Tygo, who's flying the French flag tonight for the Alpine team. Very unlucky for Alpine there, because I think Fernando Alonso, if he didn't have his hydraulic issue in qualifying yesterday in Australia, he would have won the two on the front two rows of the grid. Wasn't it? It was like the Verstappen lap from Saudi Arabia there, where he was on a really magical lap there, and I really would love to have seen him complete that lap for Alonso, and he could have potentially been on the front two rows there, which would have been absolutely good stuff indeed, wouldn't it? Out of final turn there for Tygo. Taking a lot of curb there. Don't think that's going to slow him down too much. Across the line, and he's on soft tyres. 6 minutes to go in this qualifying session. He's gone second fastest. No one has dipped into 28 just yet in this qualifying 2 run, but I think that is going to be sorted out now. Then as Boxtel does sort it out there, and he is into a 28.800 in the Aston Martin. 6.5 minutes to go. But Sloth with the brake board strategy, laugh out loud for yes indeed that it was a great strike, I must say, fantastic stuff. Of course it's only the should I say I'm not sure I shouldn't really say that, should I really, but it's only the P0 advertising boards from Pirelli, but of course Pirelli the sole tire supplier for Formula 1 since 2011. Gosh, how time flies when you're having fun there. But of course, if you want to blame the fragile tyre era from Formula 1, you shouldn't really blame Pirelli. You should watch the 2010 Canadian Grand Prix, because that race was absolutely incredible. In the Bridgestone era of tyres, Bridgestone they were very durable. Those Bridgestone tyres were, but in the Canadian Grand Prix, it was just I'm not sure why, but the tyres were just falling to pieces. It was a cracking race indeed. I think didn't Hamilton win that race in the end there? I think he did there. He charged down Alonso and Vettel towards the end there. Goodness gracious me. I can't believe I'm saying that. That's kind of, that's like almost 10, 11 years ago. That's quite frightening stuff indeed there. All 3 of them are still racing F1, which is quite nice though, isn't it? However, I'm not sure for how much longer. Vettel's having a very difficult start to the season, and Fernando Alonso did show that he was back to his best as well. I'm looking forward to see what Fernando can do at Imola in 2 weeks' time next. That's a track where you really got to grab the car by its horns there, haven't you? Albeit it's an Alpine. Anden goes full fastest. Good stuff. Pillars there, 4 tenths a second up there, riding that curb there. I think he lost a lot of time there, Pillars did. We're just taking an eye on what Chazza can do. He's shown his teeth as well in the Red Bull, as he has gone second fastest. And once again, he is 4,300 seconds away from Geordie Boxtel. That's a very good time indeed there. Boxtel, if you don't watch Saturday nights then, which I'm surprised you don't, because it's one of it's so close in the standings. One of the top 4 are ridiculously close to each other at the moment, and it's anyone's ball game, isn't it? But Boxtel, who's leading the championship at the moment, he's had 2 Grand Prix wins that season in Division 2, and he's had 6 pole positions or 5, something like that. Kart Boy, who is just on the far end of the circuit here on a lap, then Clarkey, who's just starting to start. Julian just getting out of the way. Scotty's invalidated this lap. We're going to keep an eye on what Scotty can do, but it won't be this lap, unfortunately. But we're watching Kart Boy. Pillars just popped himself into 5th position. I should have gone back to Pillars, shouldn't I? Shocking behaviour by myself. I made sure I didn't break any. I am not a rat. Oh, my word there. So of course, yes, we do not. We're not fans of rats on the Formula 1 circuit, of course, mainly because they're probably not the best place to be, really. But Sloth there does not a fan of the old P0 boards there, and they did give a good old strike there, didn't they? But yeah, that's a good stuff indeed, of course. We have seen the past 1 or 2 drivers do break the brake marker boards, and it really upsets our drivers as well, which I must say, as I said earlier on, then it's because I'm not a very good racing driver that it doesn't bother me too much. But that's why I'm rubbish, you see, because I don't even use the brake markers, which is what they're there for, aren't they? Really, I thought it was just to make the track look pretty. Cardboard then, who out of the final turn, he's going over the grid as well. This finish sign or the start finish line is quite a way down there, isn't it? Cardboard goes 8 fastest. He's going to be in the danger zone, I feel. Clark, he hasn't set a time just yet either. In the drop zone at the moment, there's Rage, who hasn't come on the pitch just yet. Now he's appeared out of the garage. We've got Clark using validated time. Sly Guy, who had a time earlier on there, but of course abandoned that. He is on the medium tires moment, and Carl Kennan is also out. We're going to stick with Clarkey for the minute, and he comes out the final turn then. Shadows over his 100 bits, thank you very much. And Scotty actually made it out of Q1. I'm so proud of Baguette saying that. I've Scotty, who of course, I know there's a bit of banter going on, but I'm going to defend Scotty at the moment now. He's when he finishes races, he is very quick indeed there, because the only race he's finished so far was third position in the Spanish Grand Prix, and I think majority of Haas's points is down to Scotty, because Scotty was a reserve driver for the Haas team before Mercedes snapped him up a couple of days later. Yes, when he does finish race, he's pretty quick indeed there. He was very unlucky in Canada or Britain, where he probably could have and should have got a podium at the very least there, but it didn't go too well at all, did it? But yes, indeed, Scotty, is going to be a major factor in this one, I think. 180 seconds to go in this qualifying session. These sessions are flying by. I need to be honest, what we need to do really is have a 5-minute chat in the intro there to actually go through the what happened at the start of the throughout the week then, which is a good opportunity then whilst we're just watching Clark go Scene Corner, which I don't even think it's called Scene Corner, but I've made it up as I go along. Of course, tomorrow night though we start again, then we go to the technical Dust Bowl circuit. It's the Hungarian Grand Prix, looking forward to that then. Of course, the Hungarian Grand Prix been on the Formula 1 camera since 1986. Good grief. And we've had some fantastic races over the years. We'll go through the Hungarian Grand Prix a bit later on, but Division 7 starts our adventure tomorrow night, of course. I think that we just seen Julian go third fastest. Good stuff. What about Clarkey? He is 10th fastest. That is not where he wants to be for Clarkey. What about Mr. Rage then? He was supreme on Quali 1 then. What about Quali 2 trim then for the Ferrari? Lovely stuff indeed. He's 7th fastest, but again, he's going to be quite nervous about that. I've just seen someone fly across the corner. Here comes Sly Guy, who very much has been the benchmark so far. Getting a bit trigger happy on the throttle there, but I think he's still got a lot of forward momentum now. Across the line now, he goes safe and fastest there on medium tires, of course, then for Sly Guy. He's only 0.2 of a second off the top spot there, but Sly Guy 3/4 of a minute then could be in peril here. He may be in the mid part of the he's going to be looking over his shoulder. I think we've got outlaps for Cartboy, for Andenge. We've also got Pillars out there as well. Goodness gracious me. I think the Sly Guy could be in peril here. We've got Carl Kennan out there as well, and Pillars, who is in the danger zone. Andenge's out qualifying. Cartboy is out qualifying as it stands there with Clarkey, Epic, and Scotty. We're just watching Scotty go Scene Corner as well. Mercedes this time, I think, have done that toe much better. And however, I don't think you would want the dirty air going through Scene Corner at that point. And Clarkey, Cartboy out qualifying here. Unfortunately, what about Clarkey? He spun the car. That's it for Clarkey, I think then. So he is going to be 13th on the grid at the very most here. Oh dear. Into the final 2 turns then for Scotty. How's the car rotating? Lovely stuff indeed there. And on the power nicely indeed then. Pillars is out qualifying, and that is not good at all, because Pillars, I think, is going to be outside. Oh, Scotty is out of qualifying by the minutest of margins here, and Mr. Rage is in the pit as well. I think they've all got fortune tellers, because I thought that Carl Kennan and Mr. Rage and probably Sly Guy was going to be a bit concerned about that, but goodness me, absolutely cool as cucumbers then. Epic's out qualifying. No, that is good. That's not good at all. Oh no, Epic then, who's third in the championship, is going to be the top 3 of having an absolute nightmare in this qualifying here, and this has opened the door for Sly Guy then to really put his toe through it now, hasn't he now? And Epic is going to be furious about that. I'm wondering if he just left it too late there. Maybe he should have given himself a banker. And Danger's out of qualifying as well, and that was a bit of a damper ending to qualifying. But the major talking point here is Epic the Animal is going to be 15th on the grid alongside Blaze, with danger times directly behind him. The top 3, 15th, 16th and 17th in this qualifying session is and my goodness me, It's just absolutely incredible stuff. I was not expecting those three drivers to be. I was expecting those three drivers to be quite close to each other. Clark has left the session there, and I'm not sure if that's been discussed from his qualifying performance, or if he's got a technical gremlin. But hopefully he'll be back in soon. Epic out of qualifying, Scotty out of qualifying, and then Cartboy out of qualifying as well. Good grief! Absolute scenes here in the French Grand Prix, and I need to find some socks. My feet are freezing. Brr. I'd like to know what happened to Epic the Animal there. I'm wondering if he did put one time on the board, but goodness gracious me, that is quite. That is quite concerning for Epic then. I've wondered if he's a bit too chilled in the pit lane then, perhaps. Slayer is saying then the Sly Guy is on the best strategy for the race then. However, there is rumblings going on that we've expected to rain at the start of the race then. So I think that Sly Guy perhaps just wanted to put on a scrub medium set then, which they don't do scrub sets in the Pirelli era these days, do they? Oh, lovely shot from the Williams garage here then. I do like that then, but I don't think Epic's going to like this view at the moment, as he is going to be quite furious with what's gone on in this. Because he's out of qualifying, and Epic would like to have really been up the grid, higher up the grid then, to really put it, really start to eat into those McLaren's advantage moment. Boxtow, who is boxing his way to the fastest time in qualifying too. Lovely stuff indeed. The top 10 separated by 3 tenths a second. The top 3 separated less than a tenth of a second. Ridiculous, isn't it? Epic the Animal, his fastest time was on the medium tires, and so that has really bit him where it hurts. And Epic down in 15th. Clarkey down in 14th position there, unfortunately. 13th position is Cardboy, 12th position is Andage, 11th position is Scotty. Scotty is now accusing Baguette of jinxing him there, which is absolutely horrific behaviour in the comments that did that. Of course, keep your comments coming in, guys. You're the main stars of the stream and all that stuff. Keep me on my toes as well. And anything you want to chit chat about, then yes, throw it in there. I'll try and pretend I know stuff about Formula One. All I know is I like cars going around in circles and then being fast. Qualifying free. Top 10 shootout. Who's going to be on pole position then for the French Grand Prix? The top 3 in the World Championship are out of qualifying here. Of course, the McLaren have only had one pole position between them in terms of a blaze. Epic the Animal, who's has had 3 pole positions so far this season. I'm surprised by Epic, and he's very good in qualifying. It's the Epic and Sly Guy have been the cream of the crop, haven't they, in qualifying this season? But Sly Guy could potentially go for a 7th pole position this season. I think that so Sligo is the only driver in this qualifying session that's been on pole position in this, as we now accelerate into qualifying number 3. V Robbie out on circuit at the moment. Then, of course, V Robbie, I think he was on pole position. He's been on pole position in Division 2, hasn't he? He was on Boxtown was on pole position last night. Can he get his first pole position of his career in Division 1? Well, we'll find out then. We're just watching V Robbie, who's the first driver out on circuit now. V Robbie, who was in the Alpine last night. He's had a pole position this season as well, V Robbie. He was actually right at the start in Bahrain. He hasn't had one since for V Robbie. He would like to get one here tonight in Division 1 then, wouldn't he? Well, he's just now coming down the back straight. Talking of which, then, so in the this week, then, I think the major talking point of this week in the French Grand Prix for the French adventure we've had, Boxtel's lead is down to 13 points, and the top 4 have really broken away. Then for the rest of the Division 2 standings, it's Sam Swift, Ninja, V Robbie, Menace Max, and Boxtel. Only 3 gets promoted into Division 1 for next season, but who is going to get the advantage? Then really interesting stuff indeed. We also there's an impressive debut last night. I've got to be careful with his name here because I could get booted off straight away. Is XX or whatever his name is. No disrespect to that. No disrespect to that driver there, but I kind of hope he isn't in Division 1 next season, because he is going to get me into a lot of trouble there. But in the Williams driver making his debut last night of XX, and doing a great job of getting his points on his debut. So good stuff indeed. Alhan is in the drop zone at the moment. Unfortunately, I think Dylan ended his run of 3 or 4 point scoring finishes, which is going to be disappointing for him then. In Division 3 then, Cowie has extended his lead over KD. It's now 19 points and Gamer in 4th position. The top 3 are very much set in stone in that division at the moment. They're fantastic indeed. 62 points between Gamer and B Todd. The drop zone is looking quite precarious as well. Bradfield, who's 2 points behind Sean at the moment there, with Angry Dutch Guy on a point then, and Grimmy, who hasn't scored a point just yet. In Division 4 then, it was an honour and privilege to watch those drivers. Really good to work. Fantastic stuff indeed there. However, you do have your Master of Ceremonies back next week then, so which is probably much better than having this Ginger Road Fool on there. But Nigel there, great stuff indeed there for Nigel. Adam in 2nd position there. The gap is 33 points now. It's very condensed, wasn't the championship, but that drops been slightly drifted back then. Bradfield is in the relegation zone for Division 4. He is now in the promotion for Division 4. Fantastic. McKenty, Albo and Andy Lew in the relegation zone. Gordo leading the championship in Division 5 and Starburst, 16 points. And Florin, who's in 3rd position. V. Robbie has come into the pits as well. I should be paying more attention to the track action, shouldn't I? Shameful behaviour by me. But Pillars is out on the circuit as well. Let me carry on then. Broke Gordo, Storm and Liam D in the relegation. And Division 6 there, 4 points between Dynamo Dan and Bob. I'm loving that. Fantastic stuff indeed there. And with J-Dog in 3rd position at the moment there. Out of the final turn there for Pillars, and across the line he comes and he goes fast as there on a 29.959 then. Alpha, we got Carl Kennan then, who's invalidated his time, but he's shown his performance already. Slothfeld, who's on pole position then here in France. He's going to love that. We got Sly Guy, who's almost off the circuit. He's invalidated his time, Sly Guy, so he's got to go around again. And I think that's the only thing that's going to stop Sly Guy tonight there is just getting a clean lap in, because he is head and shoulders above everyone else so far. Julian there is now first at the moment. It's a good opportunity there with the usual contenders in the championship having a terrible time. 400 of a second separates Boxtown and Julian, because he's now in pole position as well in the Aston Martin car. Tygo is sharing the 2nd row with his teammate, and I think Alpine will be very satisfied with that. That's how it finishes, but we've got a long way to go, and Chaz is one of them there, isn't he? Pole for pole then. Sligo's got 5 votes so far. I'll be surprised if anyone does it. I'm surprised that no one's probably put Boxtal in there maybe for a chance there as well. Here comes Chazza out of the final turn then. Not taking too much curve compared to the other drivers, and Chazza's across the grid hatch as well. He comes over and he goes 5th fast there just in front of the pillars at the moment. Sligo going through Scene Corner as well, and he's flying out at the moment. We're on board with Sligo as we've of course he was quick in qualifying when he was 7th in qualifying tour, albeit on the medium compound tyres. Let's see what he can do in qualifying 3. And it just accelerated out then of Sligo, and he's on the curb at the moment, and coming into the final couple of curbs as well then for Sligo. Accelerates out of the final turn then, and across the line there. And what can Sligo do? I think this is clean. This is pole position. It is a pole position by, oh my goodness, 6 tenths of a second. That is a mega lap from Sligo. Can he get himself into the 27s there? My goodness gracious me, though. The man is a king on a 1 lap pace, isn't he? Supreme stuff indeed there. Chaz has invalidated his time, so Sligo pole position at the moment there by 6 tenths of a second from Boxtal in 2nd position. Boxtal was on pole position last night. Sligo is currently on pole position tonight, going for a 2nd pole position of the season. Sligo still got 5 votes. Said, "Oh goodness me, I almost reported Farfare. Shocking behaviour." Of course, I better put this device down before I break anything else. While Sligo is coming, while Sligo is going to be watching V Robbie and Mr. Ray said, just finishing off the roundup of the championship so far. J Dog in 3rd position, on there, 37 points away from his team at the moment. But both McLarens are looking on song, aren't they, in Division 6? They're almost like Division 1 at the moment there. In the relegation zone then is Ballistics, followed by Winnie and Natty. Unfortunately, Winnie and Natty have got minus points so far. Division 7 and Ash Tube then is extended his lead over Bad Piasa to 20 points, and I Hassle You has broken into the top 3 in that championship campaign as well then. I need to catch up with the comments, don't I? Otherwise I'm probably going to be told off. Goodness gracious me. Wow, who came out of the pits in front of Clarkey? Naughty, naughty. Serious Rush saying, I'm glad Serious Rush paid attention because I didn't see that at all. That was back in Quali 2, wasn't it? Horrific game round. I don't think Clarkey's come back in yet. On board Mr. Rage saying, my goodness me, he's like a duck to water, isn't he? Doing a supreme job, Mr. Rage is. As I said, that I'm a big fan of his performance in Division 2 so far. He's really resting that Prima, and now he is in this. Now he's in the famous Scuderia Ferrari, and he is very much looking the part of Division 1, and that's what I love to see. It's absolutely fantastic stuff there. Out of the final turn then for Mr. Rage across the grid hatches. It could be a Ferrari 1-2 here. No, it's not quite. I got a bit. V. Robbie's only got as invalidated his time. He's going to have to go around again there. This pit, to be fair to the driver got in front of Clarkey, this pit exit is not the best in the world, is it? And V. Robbie's invalidated this time as well. So no, it's not good at all. It's Mr. Rayton. I wonder if he's got a bit more fuel on the car. He has spun the car and he's got into the tyre back. No, he just about stopped it. Mr. Rage, that would have been an appalling bad luck there from Mr. Rage. And I'm sure he wants a bit. I'm sure that he may have a bit more fuel on the car to maybe go for a second bite of the cherry. Right, let me let me have a quick look to see. Serious Rush was saying that Epic don't care. He's made a lot of different stuff. We've got we've got Favre saying, haha, Paul, not driver of the day then. Driver of the day is a bit soon. Did I say, oh no, luckily it was Favre's issue, not mine. Good. I thought I said driver of the day then. Gosh, that's way too early for driver of the day, isn't it? Good gracious me. Carl Kennan, who's really impressing me so far. Really good 17. As I mentioned, this is his first race with us since season 2. That is an absolute that's a long time ago, and since then I've had a lot of pork pies and sausage rolls. So yes, unfortunately my hips don't lie; they get bigger. We've got Carl Kennan down the back part of the circuit. As we've got SXXN saying, hello, someone said my name. I did indeed, my good man. I say that you did a very good job last night in your debut. Really good stuff indeed there, and getting points for the Williams team and for yourself there on your debut. Good stuff indeed there. I'm curious, how many race starts tomorrow? I think I'm near 100, Sarah saying then. I have to get out my old book in a minute. That goodness gracious me. I don't know where I pull it. Well, it's on my laptop, of course, but I have to reach over, and I've got a bad back. I'll find out in a minute. Serious Rush, I'm so close to the 27. And if Sai can't do that, if Sai can't do that, it's not possible. Don saying, what's your favourite tier to commentate on? Well, it can only be one. Or it can only be 1 or 7. I don't. I'm going to be honest. I think that I can't really pick a favourite. To be fair, I love Formula 2. I love Division 7, and I love Division 1. What I'm really enjoying at the moment, I do enjoy Division 2 for just for how close the standings are, how close the championship as well. We'll talk about that in a minute, actually. I'll come back to you, my good sir, Don. Over the grid hatch as well, and Carl Kennan goes 8th fastest. Good stuff indeed there for Carl Kennan, and he's 8th at the moment. Tygo's invalidated his time, naughty. Julian in third position. He's a qualifying specialist as well. So I'm loving Julian, who's doing a really good job at the moment there. Sly Guy is now going for a 27, and he has got to find a 10th for the bit, then a 10th for the quarter. Can he do it? Serious Rush saying if he can't do it, no one can then. I absolutely agree with that. Sly Guy, we mentioned already that we was expecting him to really put his toe down here now. Of course, he's 4th in the championship. He was out and up and down the season, has some technical gremlins there with the steering wheel mainly, but can Sly Guy have a strong second half of the season there with the McLarens having a pretty nightmare qualifying session? I say pretty, it's a nightmare, isn't it? There's no beating around the bush on that one. Julian across the line now, he's on the front row of the grid, he's on the 28.5 there for Julian, and that looked like such a good lap for Julian. Boxtel's going to have to go around again then. Boxtel's so good in Division 1, isn't he? He's absolutely supreme. He's good in Division. He's, oh goodness gracious me, look, rain's afoot there. We're just in a sprinkling on Carl Kennan's cockpit here, and that is not good, is it? Goodness gracious me. Absolutely, this could really dampen the spirits and for the rest of the drivers show, and this may have already sorted out the sorting out the qualifying positions here, and Julian may have pulled off a master stroke here. Fantastic 17. What about Carl Kennan and out of the final turn? We've got Mercedes in the background of pillars, but he's just starting this out. Then Carl Kennan improves by 6 thousandths of a second. Close but no cigar. Mr. Rage and starting this up as well. Sly Guy, who is 6,400 second up then. He is at the limit to his, he's at the peak of his powers, isn't he? Sly Guy is like, can he get into the 27th? It's like the limbo across the grid hatching. My gosh, how he is close, 1,500 of a second. But my goodness me, he's just qualifying against himself, isn't he? But that's pole position there for Sly Guy for the 6th time this season in 11 qualifying attempts there for Sly Guy. He's been on pole position, 7 of them. Emphatic. That is the word that I'm thinking of. Emphatic stuff indeed there for Sly Guy. Ferrari, I think Ferrari's a constructor of, that's the 7th pole position as well. Sly Guy has really stolen them all though, so far for the Scuderia. Am I cow to my chickens before they hatch? Potentially, but the rain is coming down there. It's going to be greasy out there. Has anyone done a mega lap? Then here comes Boxtel across the line. He may have done. He is all close, but he's not improved there. Unfortunately, Chaz has done a mega lap though. He has gone 5th fast. He's moved himself up to 5th on the grid. What about Tiger? Tiger's found 2 tenths a second. Goodness gracious, that's 5th. He's back in front of Chaz. He is behind his teammate as well. Sloth, who's in 4th. That's a good time there for Sloth. Loving that. The great 7D there. Mr. Rage 2 tenths a second down there. Carl Kennan there, who's at the moment to validate his time. What about Pillars? Look at the sun there going right into the eyes of Pillars, and out of the final turn then for Pillars across the timing line now. Pillars goes 8 fastest in the end there. Mr. Rage, who has lost a quarter of a second in the second intermediate split time. He's coming across the line. He's lost 3 tenths a second in the end there. Carl Kennan's retired from the session there. And Sly Guy is on pole position for the 7th time this season. Brilliant 17 for the Ferrari driver. He has been pretty mega in this qualifying session. That's fantastic. He's going to be over the moon with that result. Lovely jubbly indeed. Top 6 wow, Sirius Russian saying it's over. If he gets a 27, if he gets a 20, he gets a 27. If it's not raining easily, then Guy's not human. Then he's more machine than man, isn't he? Goodness me, absolutely incredible stuff. That's a quote of Star Wars, by the way, as well. I was thinking, where did I get that from? For some reason, I was thinking Terminator. Goodness me. He has 14 fingers and 4 legs there. A good gaming chair, it must be. I love it. That must be the problem. It can't. Yes, it must be my appalling posture. Otherwise, I surely would be in the 28s as well. I don't think I've even gone to the 30s around here. Anyway, enough about my personal or lack of personal skill. There's no denying Sly Guy's skill here tonight. Half a second in front of Julian in second there. Julian, as we mentioned, he's really on song at the moment. Boxtel pole position last night, 3rd tonight there for Boxtel. He's in Division 2 quite comfortably, anything but comfortably at the moment in Division 2, but he's enjoying life in Division 1 now. Sloth in a superb 4th position. I love that. Fantastic stuff indeed there. Jan saying Sly Guy's on esports there. If I don't bottle sector 1 and have Robbie in front of me, Sly Guy's saying then. So unfortunately, Robbie did cause issues there. Serious Mr. saying good luck all. Going back to Don's comment there, I don't really have a favourite tier to comment on. I love watching and commentating on all tiers as well because it all brings up fantastic action there. I love 7 because it's the perfect way to start the week, isn't it? On a Blue Monday and Sunday. I also like as well because usually I've had a Sunday lunch. But it's also great to watch skilled drivers from all 7 divisions, isn't there? I think all 7 divisions have something that just absolutely blows me away. On each and every race that we do in Harbour Drive, there's something that just you got to step back and think, wow, absolutely superb stuff. Absolutely superb stuff in each race as well. I'm going to Division 7. I think Junior's pole position earlier on was just blew me away. Fantastic stuff indeed there. But it was a great race from Pepsi, who got his first race win of the season and of his career as well. Good stuff indeed there for Pepsi in Division 7. Hopefully he can keep it up tomorrow. However, I did have a nose earlier, and I don't think he's voted, has he? So shame on him. Right, let's get on with the race, shall we? We're in the French Grand Prix. This is round 13 of the World Championship. But if F1 is on Sundays, it's a double whammy show. Indeed, I think the perfect way for a Sunday is really having a Sunday lunch there and watching a Grand Prix. Intermediate tires at the moment. We're not sure how long this rain's going to be for. I've heard 20 minutes in the comments there, so that's probably going to be around coming up to half distance. Let's go for the grid from front to back, from pole position all the way down to 20th on the grid with 27 laps around here. Sly Guy is on pole position, as I mentioned, for the 7th time this season in 11 qualifying attempts there for Sly Guy. by Magic. Julian is alongside of one there. Julian there, who's really starting to climb up the ranks. He's a Grand Prix winner. He's the only man in hyperdrive history to win a Grand Prix and only get 12.5 points there. So hopefully he can win another race there. I get the full shebang. Box down in third position in the Aston Martin. Sloth and Tygo fourth and fifth. Then they have got all the French fans there on the edge of their seats tonight. Can they get some points on the board for the Alpine team? Alpine are doing okay. Well, they're not doing okay, really, are they? I've just beat around the bush, really. They're not doing okay in the constructors mode. They're down not for 4 points away from the AlphaTauri and a further 35.5 points behind the Red Bull. Alpine needs to be a bit higher up than that, don't they? As it could be, and there's a real possibility that Alpine could be last in the constructors championship in Division 1 for the second season in a row. That's not what they want. But Haas do need to get some points on the board. Can V. Robbie and Clarkey do this tonight? Chaz in sixth position. I think that's a very strong performance there for Chaz. That's his best qualifying performance of the season so far in terms of performance. Mr. Rage on his debut in 8th position. As I said, he's our 206th driver to ever participate in Division 1. Fantastic. Pillars in 8th position. 9th position is Carl Kennan, a returnee that we haven't seen for almost 6 years. 10th position is V. Robbie. That is the top 10. Scott in 11th position there. Can he get some points on the board? He hasn't scored since Britain, I think. 12th position is Andenge. 13th position is Cartboy. Clarkey in 14th position. He needs some points. He hasn't scored at all this season. Epic, one of the championship protagonists, is well out of position there. Along with his teammates, Blaze is down in 16th. Danger Times, the championship leader, is 17th. Horrific qualifying scenes there for the McLaren. Knowlesy in 18th position there. Gurman, who's fighting an injury, the champion, is down in 19th. And Murphy has found his keys to his Alfa Romeo. He is 20th on the grid then. 20 cars around the French Grand Prix, sitting comfortably. Let's begin, shall we? Thank you very much for joining us on this Sunday as well, for giving up your time, which is going to be a supreme Grand Prix as well. It's lights on, it's lights off, it's go here in the French Grand Prix. Sligo gets away beautifully. That's a great start from Sligo. Bogstown has gone up to second there. He's jumped Julian's on the pole and start sloughing through the field as well. And there's the bollard over there. Unfortunately, Julian is dropped down into third position because Boxall's had it. Oh, Red Bull! That's a problem there. And it's one of the Red Bulls that have skated off. Chad has on the pole and starts come back on. He's been forced off the circuit. And he's right down the order. Blake. Epic's down at the back of the field, one to Blazer. There's a car skating off in the background, so all these greasy conditions are not helping anyone out there at the moment. And down the back straight, and Sligo leads in. Boxall second, Julian in third position, Sloth in fourth at the moment. Fifth is Tiger, sixth is Pillars. A fantastic starter for Scotty, up 4 positions already. And it's off there. It's Gurman, the champion is out, and Gurman's got off in a major power to safety car. V. Robbie's got a 5-second penalty, and Gurman there, who's racing with an injury tonight then, and that is such a shame. Clarkey is not in the race at all, is he? So he is just up to left of the session now. Hopefully he's got a 10. Hopefully he can get back in, but he has already lost 1 lap already. Chazza down 11, Mr. Rage down 11 positions. Chazza down 8 positions as well. It's a nightmare start for those two drivers who is well in the top 10, and that is not good at all. So it's a VSC at the moment. It's a virtual safety car. They have to adhere to the Delta. Epic down in 19th position as well. It's a appalling start for a couple of drivers out there. V. Robbie jumping down at 3 positions as well. So, goodness me. Blaze up 7. Blaze and Danger Times are up an incredible amount of time already for the McLaren team. And you can see the raindrops in on the monocoque here. Tragic had a good start and kept hitting and kept getting hit left to right like a pinball. So Gurman there looks like oh dear, so that wasn't good then. It was getting very tight in the midfield. Into the pits comes Scotty, so Scotty is in the pits already. Oh goodness me, into the pits is also V. Robbie as well, across the line then. Virtual safety car still at the moment. I think we've got 3 cars in the pits. Mr. Race in the pits as well, so it's a very difficult start for those drivers then. Anyone else in the pits at the moment? I think that Epic is staying out at the moment, so Epic is staying out. So these drivers are not going to be hurt too badly then because of VSC is out, and they have to decrease their speed there. My luck is so damn bad at the moment now. Scott is saying that my luck, man, and it's a joke, so he's disappointed as well. Serious Russia, at least you give it a go, Gurney, on the pad, mate. J Marks. All right, everyone. Good evening to you, J Marks. Of course. Oh, goodness me. Sly Guy, then we're back racing then. So Sly Guy is leading by almost a second and a half so far. Good gracious me. He's absolutely scampered up the road there. Carl Kennan then is in ninth position. Carboy, though, is goodness me. Last time that Carl Kennan raced it in Hyperdrive, Carboy had never even debuted there. Now he's a man who has been second in the championship, and he has been on the podium multiple times as well. Carboy now up into ninth position. He's up 4 positions. Carl Kennan is struggling then. I'm wondering if he is on more of a dry setup. Is there a wet and dry setup in Formula 1 cars these days? That is the question I put to you, because I tried a wet setup in Austria and it backfired tremendously badly. And goodness me, Andengers under the cosh here from Blaze, who's up into 8th position now, and a fantastic start from the McLaren pairing. Blaze is up 8 positions. We heard German's up a good position as well, but German's out of the Grand Prix, unfortunately for German, and a very tough season there, and that's his 4th DNF there for German, unfortunately, in this Grand Prix. So he's going to be very disappointed by that there. Just watching Blaze at the moment, who's just keeping tabs on Sly Guy then, who of course he has been a 3-time Grand Prix winner. Sly Guy has this season. He hasn't won though. Sly Guy hasn't won since the Azerbaijan Grand Prix about 4 races ago. So Sly Guy though does need to get back in winning form, I feel. But pillars then all over the back now of Tygo, who is currently in 5th position. He's currently in 5th, and Tygo is the Alpine drivers have done a good job there to keep their position there. Box out a supreme start. And Sloth there was sneaking up the inside, wasn't he, of both drivers there. However, he backed off there. Pillars with a beautiful Senna-inspired helmet there. I'm loving that. Fantastic stuff there from Pillars. So that's one of the most important things in the Grand Prix race is the helmet that you have. And Clarkey not in the race at the moment, and that's unfortunate. Danger times out all over the back of Carl Kennan. Then Carl Kennan, I think it is Carl Coken then is now dropping down the order. He's struggling for pace at the moment. He's had really good qualifying trim, but in race trim, Carl Kennan is just dropping back there. He's lacking pace out there at the moment. Chazza, who is quick in qualifying as well, all over the back of Carl Kennan, giving him a bit of a hurry up there for the chicane there. I'm not sure if Carl Kennan has got damage or if he's just generally struggling. And then just dropped down to 8th position there. We've seen it the last time around there. That's how close Blaze was. Blaze is now in the top 10 there. He's in the 7th position. Danger Time is also in the top 10 as well. That's good news for the McLaren team then. Up the inside goes Chaz. Then Carl Kennan dropping down into 12th position now. He has dropped down 3 positions from the start there. Really struggling the AlphaTauri at the moment. Andej down in 8th position there, but as I mentioned, as we heard earlier in the broadcast, and Andej has not got to his best, has he, so far this season? Andej hasn't, but hopefully this could be the start of something magical after the final turn. So I set another fast after the race, really waltzing away, then dancing in the rain at the moment there, isn't he? He's loving every moment out there. 2.5 seconds the gap between himself and Box Tower, with Julian in 3rd position, a second back to run. No DRS then, of course. There's not going to be any DRS just yet because it is a wet circuit and it's deemed too dangerous. Then we may get the DRS then if the rain eases off at the moment, but it's light rain at the moment, and there doesn't seem to be any sign of it abating. However, the sky looks a bit more the sky does look a bit brighter over some areas than other areas. It looks like it's full of rain, isn't it? Nose all over the back of Carl Kennan. He's struggling for pace at the moment there, Carl Kennan is, isn't he? Chaz has left the session. That is mad. That is not good at all then. That is bad news then for unfortunately for Chaz, who's in a superb 11th position. On board with Knowles then is having Murphy's having a sniff then. Nothing doing just yet. An Epic just right behind Murphy as well. As I said, and this is Murphy's 110th start in Division 1. Fantastic. Out of the chicane then, as we got Murphy, who is, I'm not sure if he was attacking or thinking about defending mode. He's kind of he's rocking a hard place at the moment now. It's always a beauty between 2 forms potentially then between Epic and Knowles. He's out the outside there is Epic, who needs to get past as quickly as possible there because he is really behind the 8 ball here. The 2 McLarens have really scampered off there, and he qualified in front of him earlier on this race. Well, this is a great battle in the midfield area so far. Lap 5 of the Grand Prix. Sligo has now got the gap up to almost 3 seconds there from Box Tal in 2nd position. Julian is in 3rd at the moment. The 2 Alpines are 4th and 5th. This is a strong performance there. Pillars returning to action after a couple of races out, and supreme stuff indeed. Then Epic has got past that Knowles there and moved himself up into And we're up to full 13th position now. Murphy also flying past as well. Knowles there is struggling for pace at this stage of proceedings, and whether it's the wet, whether the Aston Martins are liking the wet, but Boxtel's up into supreme second position. Pillars at the moment though is really enticed, isn't he, on this on the back of the two Alpine cars. Chaza is Red X, then hopefully he can get back in soon. Sarah said then it's a good pick then, is of course he picked the Alpine for his fantasy team, and they're doing 1 in 4th and 5th position there. Carl Cannon, he's unfortunately dropping back at the moment. He's sinking like a stone in the Alpha Tari here. Epic is now in the 12th position. He's taken 3 cars in the space of a lap there. Carl Cannon has made issues there, and Knowlesy trying to get past as well. Look at that though. Knowlesy unfortunately has lost out, and Epic is now on the brink of points, and albeit it's now 4.5 seconds away from Danger Times there, who is well up the road. Watching Pillars in that 6th position at this moment. So Sly Guy leads the race by 3.5 seconds. Boxtel is second at the moment. The rain is still coming down. We are expecting it to ease up in the next couple of minutes. Well, I say the next 20 minutes or so. But look at how light it's got all of a sudden now. I wonder if this rain may abate quite quickly on. We've currently lost 3 cars. Chaz are not in the race at the moment, nor is Clark as well. Hopefully they can get back in soon. But Clarkey, who left in quality 2 and has not returned, unfortunately. So Clark at the moment there is, and unfortunately that is not what the Haas team needs there. It's just really compounded now. Appalling season so far. V. Robbie, who got into the top 10 nicely for the Haas team, but unfortunately was involved in some shenanigans on the opening couple of laps here. He is down into down into 18th position now, but he had to come to the pits earlier on as well. Knowles all over the back of Carl Kellerman, and he's struggling, isn't he? Lovely over the shoulder shot from the Aston Martin driver of Knowlesy, really tackling the is it stopped raining? It stopped raining out there by the looks of things, or has it? It has stopped raining, so it has stopped raining here. We thought it was getting light from the last lap. It has got very light now, and so light has stopped. So I think that when the drive's going to come in, it's way too wet out there. The drainage on this circuit is pretty amazing, mainly because it's a test circuit, isn't it? So the drain on this circuit is going to be quite. I think it's going to be quite quick indeed. Scotty's got a 3-second penalty down in 16th position at the moment. We are not expecting too many safety cars, I would say then, because there's only one corner where you can go off at high speed, and this one here, where Knowlesy is really putting Carl Kennan, and he's lost 2.5 seconds in almost a lap alone to Murphy. There is major problems in that Alpha Tari car, and look, Knowlesy's just breezed on the outside and got past as well. There's damage surely there because he had such good pace in qualifying, but the race he's just nowhere. Gap up to 4 seconds as well. Saigai is just absolutely waltzing away at the moment then, as really impressive indeed. 20 laps to go in the French Grand Prix. Thank you very much for joining us. And Jan saying then that the track will be dry soon then. Sarah said, hope you get better soon then for Germanes. He was just explaining his injury in the comments as well. I'll read them back in a jiffy. Well, as soon as I take my eyes off the action, something's going to happen, isn't there? It happened in qualifying, and it's probably going to happen in the race as well. Look at this now. Tygo is becoming a bit of a cork in the bottle here, or maybe the bottle of wine, perhaps. And is France synonymous with wine potentially? I know actually Italy isn't it? Because Gianna Trilli has a former Formula 1 driver who, of course, an absolutely Grand Prix winner as well. The Monaco Grand Prix was it for the Renault team back in 2004, where. I think Fernando, Juan Pablo Montoya decided to go into the back of Michael Schumacher under the safety car. He was not a happy chappy, Schumacher wasn't, but that's all in the past though, isn't it? And look at this, Pillars using his ERS quite effectively. No DRS just yet. I think when DRS does come out, we may see more positions positions changing here. Than I say, I'll get my words out eventually. Look at this. So Pillars is very much underneath the rear wing of Tygo here. Tygo is struggling as the positions are starting to change. contact between Tiger, and I don't think Tiger's going to be too happy with that then, but Pillars is telling him to get a move on here because they are not. Look, the gap's up to 2 seconds now because he can see Slough just pulling away here and into the pits. That's very early decision there for Tiger. I think it's too early. Surely we know that the track dries out quickly around here, but I think that may be a lap or two too early, unfortunately, and that is a major. But that's going to be a major problem, I think, now for the Alpine, and I think Sarah's going to be despaired, I think, about seeing the Tiger come to the pits. However, the track, as I said, does dry out quite quickly, and we have heard Jan saying that the track may dry out. Told you, Tiger always goes better here. Tiger's got this right, I think, then, as Sarah's saying. Let's take a look then. We'll take a look and see what his what his split times are in just a minute. And Edge is in 7th position. Cardboy's on a great job out there. Channel's back in the session. Rejoice then as he is back in, and unfortunately he's lost a lot of time, a lot of positions there. But can he sort himself out? Right then, the gap is 4.6 seconds at the moment, 4.7 seconds there, as it is tumbling at the moment between himself and Scotty, but it needs a lap then, those medium tires then to really fire up, don't they? Clarkey V. Robbie has just got up into 17th position now, and he's just got past Tiger as well. I'm thinking it may be a bit too early, unfortunately, as Jeff said, oof, it's a bit early there. Sarah says he's got to be careful. German also thinks it's too early as well. I'm thinking it may be too early at this stage. I'm seeing I've lost me times on me chart here. On me chart, not me tart. Goodness me. I do fancy a good old jam tart, but not tonight, because I've got to watch me figure. Tiger, who is fights at the moment. Look, he's the problem is when you go on to on the dry tires, you have to make sure you do not the tires don't drop below a certain heat. If they do, it's just going to be a snowball effect there, isn't it? Because the slower you go, the tires are going to get colder. The tires get colder, not much grip then, and it's just a snowball effect, unfortunately. And that is what Tiger has got to try and stop. I think he's not doing a good job, unfortunately, but I think it's too early, unfortunately, for the medium shot at Tiger then. But he's going to have to hang it out now. Let's see how long or short this track decides to dry out then. Murphy now on the cusp then of 11, on the cusp of points, I should say. Epic is in the points now. The gap is 2 seconds between himself and Danger Times now. It's less than 2 seconds. So Epic is really now starting to put the times on the board. There he is, and he had a nightmare start then, but that just shows that Epic is shows that Epic then is a fighter, isn't he? He's not going to give up here, Epic, isn't there? And he's potentially on the cusp of points. He's only a point now behind his championship rival in this race. Anyway, of course, Danger Tom does have a 68.5 second point advantage over himself and his teammate Blaze at the moment. Of course, Blaze is for a couple of points in front of Epic there. Danger Times in non-position there. He has not always been the best qualifier, has he? German is saying that this lap will now be the lap, I reckon. And Sarah saying the circuit looks better, sector 1, but 2 bad in sector 2 and 3. Unfortunately, Mr. Rage then on his debut night then, who's on a bit of a mare at the moment, isn't there? So hopefully he can get it sorted out. It's still looking very precarious in sector 3. It is not right yet. Then and then his car is sparking away. Goodness gracious me. Don't see that too often, do you? One thing I do wish that there was a bit more of those sparks on multiplayer. Scotty's got past Chaz. Chaz has regained his car, regained control of his car. So now let's see what Chaz can do. Lap 10 of the Grand Prix. The gap is up to 5 seconds, and Sly Guy's just waltzing away at the moment. Box Tower second. The action is actually between these scattered cars here of Andenge Cartboy and Danger Times. And Andenge Cartboy are doing a supreme job out there at the moment. I'm absolutely loving seeing them back in the top half of the standings, which is where they belong, I feel, isn't it? But so all Division 1 drivers should deserve to be at the top 10, don't they? But of course, there's only 10 positions and there's 20 drivers there, isn't it? I'm absolutely I'm surprised at where don't know where Carl Conan's pace has gone there, as Blaze is past pillars. He's moved himself up into fifth position now, and the sun is now starting to really shine down, but it's still too wet for the dry tyres yet, and they're hanging on. Some of these drivers are. Scotty has got past Carl Kenton, and then through the kink of turn 6 there. He is struggling. I'm absolutely shocked to see where his pace has gone. Look, he's being Charles is now just breezing past Carl Conan, and then down the straight he's struggling in the AlphaTauri here, and he was in the top half. He was in the top 10, wasn't he? That's a major problem. Gap is 6 seconds now, almost at the top there. Box Tower is just not got an answer so far to Saigon. He's going to be turning his attention to Julian, who's second. Who's less than second. Tiger has dropped to the back of the field, unfortunately. So yes, you guys are right. I think Tygo's unfortunately in a major problem then. His pace has gone to Rams Street there. Rams Street then. It's Sligo set the fast on the race, and that just underlines that the track is starting to evolve here. Tygo's at the back of the field now. He's at second, but he's losing time. So Julian's got a 3-second penalty. That now adds to the other two drivers of Scotty and Rage, of course. That's going to be added to his race time at the end of the session now, and that could be a podium or not a podium. V Robbie in the pits as well, in the Haas car. Of course, only one Haas right at the moment. Clarkey has disappeared disappeared and absent without leave then, or AWOL, isn't it, as they used to call it. German taking longer than usual to dry tonight. German is saying, and Jeff reckons that it's going to be time for dry tyres next lap. V Robbie in the pits has taken a very long time to dry as well. I remember the Brazilian Grand Prix a couple of years ago. Oh gosh, I can't remember what legal division it was in, but it stopped raining around lap 18, and it took until lap 20. It took until lap 30 odd, almost 5 laps before the end, where it actually was time for dry tyres. So, but you can tell it's hot out there at the moment, can't you, here in the South France, because the heat haze is now just dancing off of the tarmac here, and of course, so that is going to be all about evaporation and all that kind of stuff there. As you can tell, I did science, but that's as best as it goes, because I think I got D in science, so which I really upset my teacher as well. But there we go. That's what I get for messing around in science. Mr. Raid said, oh gosh, there's contact between himself and V Robbie here, and I think that underlines that potentially the wet and the slick tires is too early again. Blaze is on fire at the moment then. I read that and I didn't actually say who it's from then. Jan is saying that the blade's on fire. Just right, it's that fine rain that gets you wet through then. Division 3 had dried up really fast. Slayer is saying that it's the complete opposite here, isn't it? Goodness me, it's taken so long there. And V Robbie is dropping back as well. And that's maybe what, and it's just, that's, I'm wondering what some drivers are falling foul to. We got pit stops now and into the pit set. Hard tires for Epic here. Look, oh goodness me, and in that, this cardboard and just coming out just in front of Epic here. Medium tires, so they're all coming in the pits, they're all funneling in the pits then. Let's see them, but V Robbie, I'm comparing my data to V Robbie and Mr. Rage, and V Robbie is 2.3 seconds back in one, just making sure that Sligo is still out there. He is still out there at the moment. Already made up 11 position in the rain then. It's usually so hard to overtake the rain in France. Blaze saying, yeah, he's up into 5th position. I remember him and teammate Danger Times had an absolute nightmare in qualifying, and now they are flying. Both McLarens are flying up into 5th and 8th position. They're not, as I mentioned in qualifying, they're not the best qualifying team as a duo, but race they are pretty good at. But I'm sure they both wasn't planning to start way down the grid in 16th and 17th position, but are now in 5th and 8th position respectively for the McLaren team. Mediums will last to the end easily. Jan is saying as well, in terms of the in terms of tires as well. There's a hard tire strategy out there for Epic. Everyone else has gone to the medium tires so far in this race. Mr. Rage is still gapping V Robbie. It's not time for dry tires, I don't think that. But having said that, Blaze is in the pits now, and so we're still not. It's still not dry enough yet. And Sligo is now 7.5 seconds in front. This is an absolute clinic in Grand Prix racing here for Sligo. But Julian's got a 3-second penalty. He has to catch, pass, box down, gain 3 seconds on the road. Carl Conan there is really struggling there. It's such a shame there, isn't it, for We got yellow flags, and it's one of the Aston Martins. It's Nosey, and he's off there at Scene Corner now. He's just switched to the dry tyres, and I'm thinking the grip must have eluded him through there, and he has dropped right down into 17th position. Now, Mr. Rage said, who is still gapping at the moment. Into the pits now. We've got some more drivers into the pits there, onto the dry compound tyres here. As goodness gracious me, Clarkie's AI, by the way, is now on the pit. Well, I was going to say Clarkie's AI is actually staying out of the there, so that would have been one of my things there, just to have a quick look. Goodness gracious me, box there, Sarah saying, and Meads that no longer losing time then, as just going back to Mr. Rage then, as Mr. Rage in the pits as well. So is this the lap then? The top 6 have not come to the pits yet then. There is Sly Guy, who's now 8 seconds in front then. Blaze is the highest driver on the medium tyres. Danger Time's coming to the pits as well, but I think he had to queue behind his teammate here. And Warner Van Den just left it a lap too late potentially then. It's very much on a knife edge, isn't it there? It's very much a balancing act here. Majority of the field is now on the dry tyre. It still feels too wet out there. It's yellow flag. Is what's happened then is I think it's Mr. Rage is it that's had some issues then. He's just spun it there, but now they're all into the pits, and so yes, they are coming into the pits. Sloth is in the pits as well. Pillars is coming in the pits, and so everyone is coming into the pits now. So yes, indeed, it just feels so wet out there still, doesn't it? But they're all now on the same tyres then, and they're all going to be on the so they're all on the dry tyres then. The pits now comes Sly Guy. I don't think Sly Guy's going to be too concerned. I'm going to be interested to see where Blaze comes. We got yellow flags as V Robbie is just scampered across, and yellow flags at the back straight here. Some shenanigans going on here. Where's the McLarens now? So here comes Blaze, and he's quick at this stage of proceedings, and he jumps up into 5th position, maybe into 4th as well. He has, there's a car off in a major way. It's Carl Kennan who's gone right off the circuit. I don't think he's hit anything. Chaz has left the session again. There's a major connection, and he's got a 10-second penalty. Carl Conan. I don't think that's very unfair there. It depends if Farf's in a given mood or not. Then, but and Scotty's spun the car as well. It's still too greasy out there. Oh, he's damaged the front. He's damaged the nose cone on the Mercedes car. He's going to have to come back into the pits pronto here, and he is unfortunately for Scotty. He's got a 5-second penalty as well for Scotland. Oh no! And unfortunately, of course, there you do get minus points for pitting and quitting. Unfortunately, and that is such a Sloth, who is now right behind at Blaze, and Blaze has done has overtaken a few drivers there under this Blaze has jumped up to 4th position now. He's doing a supreme job driver of the day so far, along with Sly Guy. I thought he's off. He is off. Oh no! Sloth, who's on a supreme race, he's gone off the circuit. Oh, he's come back on there. Pillars out just to take an evasive action. Sloth there, who is now coming back on the circuit. He was having a supreme job today, and oh my gosh, there's precarious out there. It is still slippery, isn't there? Man, Sloth there. Oh no, that is such a shame for Sloth. He was having the drive of his life out there, and I don't mean that he was driving a Peugeot. He was having a great job in the Alpine car, but he spun the car at the very precarious Scene Corner. Chaz having once again a connection issues out of the race so far. We have lost 3 drivers in this race. We've lost Clark, who had a DNS to his name. Unfortunately, he's just in here as a ghost. We have unfortunately got Chaz a connection issues. Hopefully he'll get back in pronto, but he's quick in this circuit, and he's being robbed, I think, of a potential good result. Scotty, who had a bit of a difficult start to this race then, and unfortunately he spun the car and damaged the car. Mr. Rage on his day was on a bit of a nightmare. Gurman out of the race as well, as he was a pinball machine, or so to speak, after the opening stage there. As Sarah saying, the Alpines are bottling at the moment, and the Sloth down to 9th position. Tiger there coming into the pits far too early. Julian is now up into 2nd position, catching Boxtel, and I think that has the DRS been enabled then? Have I completely missed the DRS? It has been enabled. Chaz is back in the session now. I completely missed that. But DRS has now been enabled, and the track is now starting to resemble a dry racing circuit. Very long time it took there to dry up here, didn't it? But now with the DRS enabled, then we're going to see some more overtakes, I think. And as mentioned by, I think it was Jan in the comments earlier on today, it's very difficult to overtake here in France in the wet then, but McLaren's done a supreme job, 7th and 4th. Then Blaze, who is eating into Danger Thomas' advantage, but as I mentioned, is 68.5 points at the moment. So I think the Danger Time's not going to be too concerned then. Saigo's going fast up, and he's going for the whole shebang here, isn't he? A Grand Slam pole position fast up the raceway, and even the Megatron of Megatron. That's a Transformer, isn't it? Whatever the case may be, a mega Grand Slam of. I'm never losing the lead in the Grand Prix, but Pillars then really throwing the gauntlet down there and getting fastest up as well. Sloth then trying to compose himself, and Sloth is now set to fast up race. He's got purple. The Thomas now going to start to tumble like a fruit machine here. Epic on hard tires on in fourth position. In 10th position at the moment. Epic is he's on course for points there, but Murphy is very much well within the 3-second window here. Murphy can get some points there for the Alfa Romeo team. Needs to stay within that 3-second window if he wants to. V-Robbie back in the 12th position there, but he's looking at how much time between himself and Murphy is 15 seconds there. He may need a safety car, or for him to bunch up then perhaps then, but I think some other drivers may be on for safety cars. Right on board and Nosey at the moment, 3/10 of a second back. And then Carboy has lost out to Sloth, and Sloth now back in the 3rd position now. Carboy in 9th, and he did really well in the wet conditions earlier on then, but Carboy now down in 9th position as well. Carl Kennan has got past He's got past Clarkey, who's not in the race. Just a lovely shot here as we're just watching Nosey and Chazza. Chazza has been really fighting with one hand tied behind his back at the moment, as he is having some major issues in terms of the technical side of things there for himself in the Red Bull team tonight. Chazza's there for session again, and I'm sure he's going to be absolutely hitting the roof now, isn't he, Chazza? What a shame there. Nosey's got past Chazza again with the technical gremlins there, just coming to back him on the proverbial once again. So Sly Guy leads the race, and Box Tau is quite quick at this stage, and it's now starting to home back in on Julian here. Julian does have a 3-second penalty. Pillars has set another fast up there. He's really lining up the timesheets at the moment there, and Pillars is definitely giving Blaze something to be concerned by. Andenge and Danger Thomas are still very close together as well. We've got a lot of battles starting to develop out here on lap 17 out of 27 in the final stage of the French Grand Prix, or the French week, I should say, here in Hyperdrive. And what an absolute sensation it's been this week. Of course, we go from the very long lateral in terms of Grand Prix to a very much a condensed dust bowl of a circuit in the Hungarian Grand Prix. A very technical stuff indeed. Charles at the fast side of the race. He's not even in the session, is he? Goodness gracious me, how did he do that? We're just watching Danger Tom said he is now going to be, is definitely certainly a danger for Andenge here. Is Andenge going to be able to defend? No, he is going to defend, because Danger Tom said just wasn't able to overtake at that stage. Sloth is now gaining on these two as well. Hand over fist, the gap is now under 2 seconds there for Sloth. There he is in the background. That's a very wide cart boy, and that's not going to help him either with I think they're very much starting to. Andenge was very well out of shape at scene there, and this is now a really enticing Danger Times there to maybe catch and pass Andenge. Andenge's got no penalty. We're just a good performance for Andenge, and I'm loving and I'm seeing it as well. I love Hungary. Hopefully, I get to drive in one division there. Serious Rush was saying that. I think you would. I think you probably would, my good sir. But of course, it's all down to the admins there. And of course, so may have to butter him up a bit then. We're out of the final turn here. Danger Thompson half a second away from Andenge at the moment. He lost a bit of time there. Box Tau is very much in the DRS at the moment. Good stuff indeed then. So we're going to take stock. We have lost 3 drivers in the Grand Prix. Clarkey out. We got Scotty and German out as well. Chazza is limping, wounded, down in 15th position now. He is really struggling with technical gremlins in that Red Bull. What a shame there for Chazza. Sly Guy's now got the gap up to 10 seconds. He's just waltzing away from the pack at the moment there. He has not lost the lead in this Grand Prix either. Supreme stuff there from Sly Guy. There was a stark warning, wasn't there, when we was building up the show tonight about Sly Guy really putting the hours in this circuit tonight, and really he was up for this one, wasn't he? And goodness gracious me, he is just absolutely dominating out there at the moment. Julian second, Box Tal in third position now, and we're going to see with Danger Times get past once again. Danger Times with DRS cannot get past Andenge here. Gap is lost. He's lost another half a second to Sloth. He needs to get past quite quickly here. But I think that Danger Times is very much he's got a bit of a barn door on that rear McLaren here, and it's causing him issues to get past Andenge, and Andenge's not going to wave him through, is he? Of course he isn't there. Blaze is now 4th position as well, and Blaze Might be able to get on the podium here. This is a brilliant drive from Blaze, by the way. Sligo's got another fastest lap out there. Blaze is driving in a blaze of glory, isn't he? Doing good stuff indeed. His teammate Danger Times also having a great drive out there as well. We did have a bit of sunshine for the briefest of moments in the here in Port Ricard, but it's very, very dull out there as well. I'm not sure if there's going to be another risk of a rain shower here, but at the moment now, I don't think it will be. The drivers are going to definitely keep an eye on that. Now, Danger Times has got the job done, and Danger's dropped down into seventh position, but he has got no penalties at the moment, Danger hasn't, and he is doing a supreme job as well. He's probably going to be a driver today for me. He's doing a great job out there. Just watching Jordy Boxtel. He is within a half a second of Julian. Julian needs to find 3 seconds there to stay in front of Boxtel. Of course, he's got a 3-second penalty to be added to his time at the moment, as does Pillars, Sloth, and Epic. We got Carl Cocan then also down in 16th, and Mr. Rage in 18th position as well. You look good in qualifying, Mr. Rage did. I did out Carl Cocan then, but unfortunately they're both struggling down in 16th and 18th positions there. Boxtel then, who is just staying in the wheel tracks then of yellow flag in one of the who's that off? That's it's Carl Cohen. It's Carl Coken then, who's dropped off the circuit there, and what a shame then. He was very quick in qualifying, but there's race then. When's the race started? He's just been drifting backwards. That's the AlphaTauri driver. Very major issues out there, unfortunately. Unfortunately, there for the AlphaTauri driver, and of course, such a shame he did that, because he looked the part, didn't he, in qualifying. The race has been a completely different story. Curse him, Sheldon, not as bad as what Martin Brunel did to Fernando Alonso in qualifying on Saturday there. So, so I think that, so I'm not going to feel as bad as what Martin Brunel should have felt then, which absolutely horrified me when I seen that. That's such a shame then, as it would have been great to see Fernando up there. But I am horrified about Carl Cohen there, who's right down in 70th position now, unfortunately, and I'm really interested to hear what happened to him after the race then, because he had so much pace in qualifying, didn't he? Same with Mr. Rage as well, but I think Mr. Rage was a bit unlucky, and I think he may have had damage as well, but the AlphaTauri driver has just been dropping down the order, hasn't he? He's had a couple of excursions, but he's just like pace in the race, hasn't he? Interesting stuff indeed there. But I'm wondering if he's had some kind of technical issues. Pillar's got another penalty that could cost him fifth here. It may cost him fifth as well. Danger Times is very much on the ascendancy as well. Cardboy, who's I thought someone was off there. It was someone, there was a yellow flag earlier on then, and I thought it was Cartboy, but luckily it wasn't Cartboy. However, unluckily, it's Cartboy has lost out here to. Lost out here to Epic, who's now in 9th position, but Carper just stays within 3 seconds of him, and he'll be in front now. Sligo's got another fast lap there. It's a bit limbo now, isn't it? Maybe had a wet setup on this. There's Russian saying a potential as well, but he did struggle with the wet setup as well in the beginning of the race. He's just been dropping down as the Carl Cohen there, which is such a shame there, isn't it? There, so it'd be interesting to see what's occurred there. But even with the wet setup, then he's had issues as well. Gerben now has been watching, but I think he's now decided that enough's enough. And he's going to be off it. Godfrey is saying, good evening, guys. Come on, the Aston boys. Said, yes, indeed. Of course, the Aston's at the moment 13th, and the other one is in third position. Boxtel doing a great job. Tiger is off the circuit, and it's a safety car here. This is going to really spice up the race, because it was ticking along quite nicely, but. Unfortunately, Tiger, the race really was doing so well. He was in a very comfortable 5th position, wasn't he? Tiger was there, but he came into the pits. Far too early, didn't he? And unfortunately, because that has just really hampered him, hasn't it? And that is such a shame, man. And he comes out of the pits now. Knowles, he does it into the pits. Carl Cohen, and then hopefully he can get some good points on the board. Then we got Mr. Rage on the 7th position. Well, this is exactly what Mr. Rage would like to have said. He needs to stay out though, Mr. Rage does, because he wants to unlock 5-second penalty. Oh, Sligo's had everything under control, and it's a 5-second penalty. Mr. Rage stays out because then he can become onto the lead lap. But this, I think, the major talking point now is. Goodness gracious me. Jan said somehow had a feeling that the same can't come out. So like on soft tires, he does have the pace, but he does have the pace, but he's really but that 5-second penalty is not going to help him at the moment. Box Tower has stayed out here, so that's really thrown the cat amongst the pigeons. So is Danger Thomas as well. Sly Guy's in second position. He's going to be on soft tires, so it's going to be quite quick here. Into the pits comes Julian as well, onto the soft compound tires. Blaze coming on the pits as well. Where's Danger Thomas? Danger Thomas, like a Box Tower, rolling the dice here, and he's now in the third position. Danger Thomas is there, but he's going to have to really defend here. Drivers are going to be on the soft tires, Pillars on the soft as well, and engine to the pits, and the Alfa Romeo mechanics going to work, changing on to the soft compound tires. Well, Epic, it was on the hard tires, I think, being very... Oh, the Williams mechanics are still getting in position now from Servicing Julian here. Wasn't too bad, actually. I thought it would be a bit worse than that. Taking the Alfa Romeo, then also getting back in position after servicing and edge as well, but Murphy out there. Oh, goodness me, he's just killed one of the Haas mechanics out. That's a horrific behaviour there from Murphy. Sure, that should be deducted points at the end there. Sarah saying that should have pitted then. Should have pitted there, shouldn't he? As I had the limiter on that, Sly Guy said then. So there's something. So something went a bit awry there for Sly Guy. For Sly Guy, he's got a 5-second penalty. Is that going to be a problem then? Chazzo's Ghost has decided not to come in the pits there, so he's doing his own trend. Then Knowlesy has also come back in there for a double stopper here. Mr. Rage is back on the lead lap now, and that is good stuff indeed there for the Ferrari and for us at home as well. That's exactly what he did. Dangerous times, and Kermit is saying that. Goodness gracious me. Yes, they're saying that Dangerous Times should have pitted. Of course, he has a championship, doesn't he? Box Tower, of course, he's in Division 2 then, so he's just driving for fun. I haven't said that. He's doing a great job in Aston Martin. Aston Martin will hope that he's not driving for fun, though, because Aston Martin would like to be supporting him, as with the joint constructors as well, because I think Aston Martin are having a bit of a nightmare in the joint constructors, haven't they? So this is good stuff, then, if he can get it to the end from here on in. Oh, I forgot to the pole for the driver of the day at the moment. Blaze, Pillars, Danger Times and Sly Guy. It's been Danger Times put on an absolute clinic so far. Blaze has been supreme. Danger Times has as well. There's so many good races out there tonight, isn't there? So Ferrari, I think the longer the safety car stays out for, the more that it's going to hurt Sly Guy. However, Sly Guy is on faster soft tires. Nosey came in the pits again next. He's got some more soft tires here, Nosey also, and it's once again getting very dark out here, isn't it? In France, 3 seconds are going to really hurt now. Sarah's saying, I absolutely agree. We'll look at the 3-second penalties in just a jiffy with 5 laps to go. Safety car will be out for at least another lap, then maybe 2 actually. So maybe we may get going again at the end of lap 23 potentially. So just watching Mr. Rage, who's the last to drive then, and I think he'll probably be coming in on this lap in front on a set of soft tyres then. Kyle Cohen, he's really had a uphill struggle, hasn't he, in this race, and he's lost all pace, hasn't he, compared to qualifying. However, there's a golden opportunity now for Kyle Cohen there to really get himself back in the thick of the action. Same with Mr. Race as well, so he's been a bit unlucky. 4 retirements, Clarkey, Tygo, Gotti and Gurman all out of this at Grand Prix. Gurman was driver of the day for a lap then. So I think Gurman did a very good job, considering the fact that he tried to race on a control, which he never raced that for 3 years then, which I know some of your viewers at home may have a sneeze at that kind of thing, but if you haven't, it's like me trying to drive a wheel, which I've never driven in my life then, or like, you know, driving a joystick perhaps then, which I don't think joysticks are even going around anymore. But I must say I was very good on that joystick when I used to play a good old game of Qbert. If anyone knows what Qbert was, then goodness me, you're old as well as me. But even nevertheless, yeah, it's very difficult if you're trying to drive at this level with when you've been used to a wheel or used to a controller or used to a joystick or whatever. It is so difficult, isn't there? So yes, so I think fair play to German, because I know a lot of drivers that we have come across before, that I've come across before, have always said, "Oh, I don't want to drive. I can't drive. I can't use the steering wheel and all that kind of stuff," which I completely get. To be honest, it's so tough indeed, isn't it? There to really, it's to basically change. It's completely changing your options there, isn't it? It's like I don't know. It's like switching. I don't know. It's like maybe putting your football boots on the other way around, or maybe playing in your best Jordans and stuff instead of your best Adidas football boots, which I must say that Adidas Predators are the best football boots of all time. I was absolutely devastated when I had a pair of Predator boots for about 5 years because I got little feet and they just, for some reason, they've never grown since I was 10. But I had Predator boots for 5 years. best football boots ever. I felt like Gerrard. I wish I was Gerrard. I was more of a Nigel Quasi. No disrespect to the Portsmouth fans out there, but I was more of a Nigel Quasi, but with a bit more hair on me. But nevertheless, yes, Predator. I love those Predator boots. But anyway, never mind. A bit later on in life, perhaps. Now it was hard. It was hard. My wheel. It took me ages to get back there. Serious Rush was saying when he broke. Then Gervin saying hopefully it'll be quicker next week when I practice. Godfrey saying I'll focus on finishing before worrying about worrying pace gurney. It's Godfrey there. Oh goodness me, spitting fire there. And I've just been invited to a FIFA game. Lovely. Unfortunately, I'm not going to do that because I am really upset about FIFA at the moment. Because I forgot to renew all my collectors when in my manager mode, and I've lost Kieran Trippier, and I've got no right back, so I've had to buy Ben Johnson because I've got no money. So there we go, and that's absolutely devastated me. I have also lost Robert Lewandowski because I forgot to renew his contract as well, so it's been pretty horrific stuff. And James Madison as well, which is the biggest hit for me. He was 88 and he was absolutely commanded. Gervin saying, give me a break, mate. Goodness me. That was a bit far there from Godfrey, wasn't it? Good gracious me. Gosh, had a Gola football boots then. He says, Rusty. Well, because I don't really like the Gola, branded football stuff, mainly because oh gosh, yes, apologies, I've been talking absolute nonsense there. Blaze Draw today is he got a vote there. Sly Guy and Pillars got one vote each, and Danger Times poor. Danger Times didn't get no votes at all. Shocking behaviour there. Thank you very much for the new follow as well. Hang on, FIFA is very good 32. Aha! There we go then. Let's be talking about FIFA then. We get a new FIFA follower. Lovely stuff indeed there. I've got to go back to talking about F1 for a minute because I've got to finish. I'll finish up complaining about my Arsenal career later on in life. The final turn then, we've got 3 laps to go then. Sly Guy has got a 5-second penalty in this Grand Prix, so he is very much against the 8 ball. His limiter had failed him when he came to the pits, and the driver who's been absolutely a clinic in Grand Prix racing tonight. And for Sly Guy, he's now going to have to really push and get past Box as quickly as possible. Blaze is really going on the inside of Julian at the moment now. And this is the battle for the lead here in the French Grand Prix between Box and Sly Guy as well. And it's going to get very interesting. Then there's Chaza who's dropped down the order, but he's a ghost, isn't he? As unfortunately he's had technical gremlins here tonight. Danger Tom's doing a great job actually. Box has lost the lead. Then Sly Guy has gone up the inside, takes the lead. Then he's got a 5-second penalty to really put behind him. Blaze and Danger Tom's off the circuit. The championship leader is dropped down, and now Blaze is up in the full finish. They could be up in. Look, Danger Times, you're right. The commenters are right. Then the viewers are right. Then Danger Times is in major peril now. He is in dangerous times here. And Blaze is now up the inside, but Julian is defending for all the marbles here. Then remember, Julian does have a 3-second penalty. Sly Guy's already got that 1 second advantage. He now needs another 4 seconds out to keep himself in the lead of the Grand Prix from Boxtown, who could potentially become a Grand Prix winner in Division 2-1 for the second time of his career, I think. Oh my goodness me. Blaze there on the outside there, but no dice at the moment. Pillars does have a 6-second penalty, which could compromise him here. Look at Danger Times, he is struggling, isn't he there? And I feel that, I feel there that judging from the comments out, you are right exactly then. And Danger Times is really thrown away some crucial points here. As goodness me, there's contact then between Epic and Danger Times. Look, Danger Times cannot defend, can he? Those tyres are on the knife edge and beyond that. Oh my goodness me. As and Sly Guy set the fast race gap is already up to 2 seconds then. So I feel though that the gap is going to be interesting between Blaze and Sly Guy. That is what we need to keep an eye on, because I think Blaze with new soft tyres, and he needs to stay within that 5-second gap. Then with 2 laps to go here in the French Grand Prix, as it is the crowd are roaring in the background. Ferrari is off. Mr. A just had a cropper, and his nightmare debut continues here. What a shame now. Blaze there is out of DRS, so isn't he? That it was oh my gosh, Sly Guy is almost 4 seconds in front there. He's almost done what he needs to do, hasn't he now? Then goodness gracious me. Julian down in full finish mode. As Players also said that he's got a 6-0 penalty, and Edge has driven superbly well, and he would have been the vote that I would have put in for Dry Day. Superb stuff indeed there. Murphy has got past V Robbie and snuck past him. V Robbie dropping down the order. Knowles is going to have a sniff up the inside as well, and Epic is now up into 8th position, and he's having a look on the inside of Sloth going into the scene. No, not quite. Sloth on the new soft tires as well. Gap at the front then is 4 seconds, but Blaze is now within DRS. He is really pushing on here. Carl Conan has now also started to come alive. So he has 13 seconds of penalty time, which I think is going to, unfortunately, not going to help him out here, is he? Sly Guy can get over 5 seconds easily, and Sly Guy will do. He is rapid here. The gap is currently at 4 seconds between the Blaze and Sly Guy as well, and sun is now starting to burst out of the sky, and goodness me, it's time to put on my speedos, I think, and get me tan, get me legs out for a tan. Final lap of the French Grand Prix then. Sly Guy's got the fastest lap as well, and we're going to have to take a look, I think, at the leader. The gap is 4.4 seconds there. Blaze there at the moment there, he is he cannot lose half a second here, otherwise it's going to be Sly Guy's Grand Prix win there. Blaze who's a 3-time Grand Prix winner so far. He could potentially be 4 if he doesn't lose half a second on that. That is what we're looking at the moment. We're on board now with Blaze. The gap, look at that though. He's lost 3 tenths of a second already, or on this first sector alone then, as Boxtel is really helping Sly Guy here. Then Boxtel is doing a superb job. He could be on the podium here, and he well deserves it as well. Down the back straight. The gap is full. Look at this. It's teetering on the inside. Blaze needs to get past. He is past Boxtel and takes second position, and he is in the facto lead. Look, he has gained a half a second on the back straight already. Oh my goodness gracious me then. Goodness me, this is too much sweat for me. I'm absolutely perspiring here. Sly Guy 4.4 seconds. Blaze 4.4 seconds. That is the gap between those two at the moment. And I think the Sly Guy needs an absolute rapid final section. He needs to find 7 tenths of a second on Blaze, who has been an absolute incredible, monstrous performance here tonight for Blaze, and it's going to take major points out of the championship, out of the championship rival, which is his teammate here. And Sly Guy, that slip on the pit limiter is going to cost him. He had technical gremlins there, and he wins the French Grand Prix. But Blaze is at an absolute storming Grand Prix, and he wins the French Grand Prix. Blaze, from 16th on the grid, has won the French Grand Prix. What an incredible race that was there. Blaze, that is an absolute incredible drive there from Blaze, and Sly Guy had it all under control. Safety car came out, and a safety car came out. Then the pit limiter failed on the Ferrari driver. Blaze has gone from a blaze of glory, and he has taken the French Grand Prix. Wow. What an absolutely incredible drive indeed there for Blaze. I take my hat off to you, good sir. Or my toupee, potentially. What an incredible drive there indeed then. Fair play to Menace Max saying fair play, Blaze. Draw of the day. This is a crucial performance for Blaze, I think, in the championship as well. That's his 5th Grand Prix win of his career in Division 1. That's his 4th Grand Prix win of his season there for Blaze, and he's now got the same amount of wins as his teammate, and he's now got one more podium more than his teammate as well. What an incredible end to that race. And let's take a fun look at the classification, shall we, from the French Grand Prix. As it started off rainy, didn't it, here, and then it did change to dry then. And here it is then. So Blaze then, I think he does deserve drive today. Superb stuff indeed. 16th on the grid to win that race. It's absolutely mega stuff indeed then. Sly Guy, that problem with the pit stop there has cost him, hasn't he? He lost by 3 tenths of a second in the end. Then he had this in the palm of his hand. Then the safety car came out, and that pit limiter really cost him. Boxtel finished 3rd today. Of course, he's leading the championship in Division 2, and here today once again shown that he has got some absolutely he's got some absolutely incredible credentials. And Engine 4th, that's his performance of the season for me then. He was supreme today, and that's the And Engine I want to see. Cartboy, that's his best performance of the season for me as well. And Engine Cartboy, brilliant stuff indeed. Julian in 6th, then Danger Times in 7th in the end there. It could have been much better. He should have pitted, I feel. Murphy from 20th to 8th, and is at usual coming through the field as well for Murphy. 9th position is Sloth Epic, who hopefully won't get spun next week. He was saying in the comments, but he's in 10th position there. Pillars there, that penalty, he got those penalties, didn't he? And that cost him. Also in 12th position, Chaz had technical gremlins throughout the whole of the race, and I don't think he was in the car. Clarkey didn't even participate in the race, and he could decide to call it a day. Haas have not scored again then. V. Robbie tried his utmost best there, but it just didn't happen. Mr. Rage on his debut had a bit of a nightmare. Carl Conan in his first race in their 6 seasons with Division 1, they're down in 70th position. Over times was Tygo, Scotty and Gurman, unfortunately all retired then from the French Grand Prix here in Paul Ricard. We go to Hungary in a week's time for the Division 1. Guys, Sly Guy, goodness me, we see in the comments there that it was your pit limiter failed on you. You pressed and it did not slow down. That has cost you the Grand Prix win because you had it under control.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 98% sure I'm going to get that removed because I've actually just watched it back and I've had the limiter on very early in the pits and I went below the speed limit, and then as I was accelerating, it somehow gone to 38, and then I got the pen, so I should get that removed, because I've done nothing wrong, but just in case I don't, I went for it, and I'll still be happy with the P2. I mean, I'll be annoyed, obviously, because that's another race where I had the easiest win in the world, and I've come second, but points are still points, but I'll take it.
Goodness me, you seem to count body luck at the moment now. How frustrating is that then, knowing that you had the perfect qualifying, the race was in the palm of your hand, then that safety car came out. How frustrating must that be for you?
It's not at all.
No, well, better man than me. Bear in mind than me, I would be fuming and like tipping tables up and stuff. But in the end as well, Blaze did win there. Hopefully that penalty gets removed for you as well. But and absolutely, you've been practicing most of this week. I've been having a gander in the chat. Then has that been what has like absolutely dominated this win for you today, or was you confident anyway? Was you just trying to get in your stride?
I mean, for me, it's been 2 races in a row. I got screwed over, and then I just needed a week off because I just couldn't handle that, and I missed Austria, so I'm not complaining. So I've just put like the last 3 days just into this. I think when I was waiting for the Australian Grand Prix this morning, I was practicing this, so I pulled an all-nighter. So that's why I had all this pace. I made 3 separate sets of pressures for every single session, one for Q1 and Q3, one for Q2, and one for the race. So I was perfectly prepared for this for once. And once again, it might be a P2.
My gosh, and talking of your championship campaign as well, then it has been very unlucky this season, but you're still in it. Even with all that bad luck, you're still in it. And we've got just under half the season to go now, coming up to some more traditional circuits of we've got Hungary, Belgium, Netherlands, and Italy coming up. Then, do you think that this championship is you're still in the conversation for this title, aren't you?
Oh yeah, 100%. I definitely think. Well, I think this is all opinion based, but I do think I'm the fastest driver in this division. I've just had really bad luck. Races where I should have won, I've DNF from, namely Monaco and Saudi Arabia. So we'll see. If I don't win it, I'll still be happy with anything I get by the end of the season, but the aim is still to win it.
Definitely, that's what we like to hear. Unlucky today, Sly Guy, but goodness me, an absolutely incredible performance. Let's come to Boxtel, who, of course, he is the Division 2 king at the moment, and he seems to be also becoming the Division 1.5 as well. My gosh, there, Boxtel. Goodness gracious me, your qualifying performance, you was third today. You really are making a lot of the other Division 1 drivers a bit nervous of your performance going into next season.
Yeah, I hope so, that I at least can go to Division 1 in the next season. But yeah, I'm again a good result for myself in Division 1, and let's keep this pace up and get more podiums.
Definitely, and you've been supreme today as well. I think because you was just sat behind Julian for most of it as well, because Julian got a 3-second penalty, and you just seemed very happy just to let him get on with it. And how difficult is it not to get penalties up there?
Yeah, it's pretty difficult because the track limits are pretty easy to get because of the curbs and stuff. But still, you just try to follow him and save some ERS because I didn't have much more. So yeah, just try to follow him and try to attack him at the right moment. But then the safety car came and made the wrong decision to stay out. I needed to go on the soft, but yeah, still, it's not a bad result for myself.
Do you think if you elected to come in the pits, do you think that this win would have been on today?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but yeah, maybe I think I could have got a win. But yeah, as like I said, he maybe could get the 5 seconds away, but yeah, still happy with the results. So.
And talking about your juggling that between Division 1 and 2, how difficult is it to race in Division 2, then come into Division 1? Or do you find it a bit easier knowing that the strategy coming into Division 1 for tonight?
Yeah, in Division 1 I drive much faster than I do in Division 2. I don't know why, but yeah. It was easy for myself to get used to the rain because yesterday we had almost the same conditions, so it was pretty easy to get used to the rain in the beginning. But yeah, still made the wrong decision with the strategy, but yeah, still happy.
Absolutely fantastic stuff. Well done to both of you guys today. Boxed out then with a brilliant drive to third. Then maybe a strategy call, maybe a cost of then Sly guy with a faulty button on the steering wheel, but hopefully I can get removed as well if Farfus in a given mood. Blaze with a supreme drive with a good win there from his fourth Grand Prix win as well from 16th on the grid there. Now I think he got drive today as well. Absolutely no quarrels from me. Brilliant stuff, Ed. We're coming back to you live tomorrow night from the Hungarian Grand Prix in Budapest. Absolutely beautiful, isn't it? There, of course, there's a fantastic water park, which I don't think I'll be allowed into because they probably roll me back into the sea because I'm a bit of a whale. Anyway, enough about that. But the Hungarian Grand Prix is tomorrow night. Then, of course, Division 7, and it's all about Ash Stupid Mum. He's extended leading the World Championship to 20 points there. Jinner's now dropped out of the top 3 as well. With Hassel U is now on the ascendancy. It's getting very good in Division 7. The battle to go into Division 7, Division 6 continues on tomorrow night. But from here, it's goodbye.